Oh my God.
Is it real?
Unscramble your mind. Unscramble your mind. Unscramble your mind. Unscramble your mind. Stop wasting time. Unscramble your mind. Stop wasting time. Unscramble your mind. Stop wasting time. Unscramble your mind.
Unscramble minds. Unscramble minds.
Happy Saturday, y'all. Welcome to the live Daughters of the Sea.
Sunday.
Oh, I
You
said
said
Saturday.
Saturday.
Oops. Happy Sunday, y'all. Daughters of the Sea here.
Peace,
What's up,
peace.
y'all?
I'm Gemini the goddess.
All right.
You can go, Jay.
All right, I'll jump in here. So I'm Jay, representing the Roundtable. Continuing a conversation that we had, a really good open-ended question. Are men and women equal? We really want to know, how people view this question, how they're going to approach it. Are we going to take a surface level approach? Are we going to take an emotional approach? Are we going to go beneath the surface and really analyze this? We thought this would be a great universal topic for everybody to have a take on. So we look forward to hearing what the audience thinks and what the panelists think.
Thank you. Peace and love. I'm Dulcinea and Sakina.
Uncle Maya, I'm Sakina Ra.
Yeah, Sister Freedom stepped away, so she should be back in a little, and OTK should be joining us. But Jay, can you start it on the roundtable game?
Yeah. So we had this conversation yesterday. Are men and women equal? Me and OTK was just talking. We just come up with all types of ideas sometimes. And there's so many ways to look at this, right? Because people are going to come from a religious paradigm sometimes. They might look at it from a sociological paradigm, like just analyzing the United States or history. Some people might look at it biologically, like if you're into science, they might say, well, there's differences. So we really like this question because it kind of gives you insight how people think, and it's a good exercise just to analyze things from all types of levels, So this is part 2. I really like this question. I don't want to influence people too much. I kind of want to sit back and hear from y'all.
Okay, so we'll go in order like we normally do, I guess. I just shared the screen. Josie, can you share the screen real quick, please? So equal, right? Are men and women equal? So I don't know if you guys can see. I'm sure you know the definition, but just for the sake of conversation, it says being the same in quantity, size, degree, or value. That's used as an adjective, as a noun, a person or thing considered to be the same as another in status or quality. And if you use it as a verb, it says be the same as in number or amount, right? So I guess just by definition, I would say no, men and women are not equal. Based on these definitions, especially because, like, when I think of equality, I also know that that's also a social construct in the same way that how we see race, how we see gender, how we see identity. Those are all social constructs, right? So I wouldn't say so much that we're equal, but definitely we are we have definitely value, and we have the same value. I don't see a man or a woman having greater value than the other.
But hold on, don't we gotta qualify first what a man is and what a woman is? Like, is that important to the conversation to qualify those terms? Because some people might get it misconstrued, right? Like we talked about with Truist, he kind of broke down the differences. Where if you look at it from like a gender standpoint, it's one thing. If you look at it from a sex standpoint, it's another thing. So I also feel like qualifying the man and woman part is important. So I would throw the question to y'all: how do y'all define what a woman is?
I would define it biologically, but I'll stop there because I know Gemini was going next, and then we'll go around. But I'll land there. I would define it biologically, first and foremost, man and woman. So to me, a man is somebody that's born with a penis, doesn't have estrogen, those types of things, their chromosomes, there's a missing Y there, right? So like when I'm thinking of gender or male, female, I think of it biologically, but I'll land there. Gemini, you got it.
Yeah, I would agree. I think there are biological differences. I think I posed the question the last time when we stopped, and I was asking, man look at woman and see her as being different from himself, and at what point did man decide that this is a protected species, right? She looks like us, she's a lot like us, except she's different. And it had to be something that really stood out, some sort of other qualities, breasts, longer hair, a scent, thinner lips. Our features are very different, just everything in and of itself. And then that required some sort of protection. Other than that, men would just see themselves and say, well, why do I need to protect myself? No, they absolutely saw themselves, but saw themselves differently within a woman and decided that needed to be protected. Right. And so, there are some major differences between men and women. I think when we're talking about equality, we're talking about something on a different scale.
I got something I want to chime in, but I don't want to cut anybody. Does Dulcinea, Freedom want to, or
Freedom,
Sakina?
it's freedom. It's freedom, but then it's Sakina, and then Dulcinea, then you.
Gotcha.
So
Freedom, where you at?
I think she's still gone. So Sakina.
Okay. Sakina. I do agree that we're different. I don't want to say we're the same because I still have the two different puzzle pieces. Yet together they come together and benefit one another. So because we're different, and so we do bring value to one another, but we're still different. And I could say that about our own body. We have two arms, but yet they're different. One is longer than the other. One is a little thicker than the other. One is a little, but yet we have two arms. We have two hands, and that's the same, like our 2 feet, our 2 eyes, and so just because, one is male and one is female, the attributes are still different, the physicalities and a lot of things make us different. So does that make us equal? No, but yet it's the best part about us being different, right? Because opposites attract. And so us being different makes us work better. If we were the same, who would really want to date themselves? So I'm gonna land with that.
Yeah, and my feelings on it is that we are equal value, which makes us equal. If you look at it from a math perspective, 7 plus 3, 5 plus 5, 5 times 2. Those are all different expressions, but they're equal. They all come out to equal 10. So things don't have to appear the same for them to be equal. We have our own expressions as men and women, but we have equal value making us equal.
Jay, where you at?
Okay. I'm right here and I'm listening and I'm thinking at the same time. So I heard a couple things that I kind of want to go into. Dot said a man is someone with certain chromosomes, lacks estrogen and so forth. But would that be the same as a boy though? Right? Like, because a boy could qualify under those characteristics as well. So we also have to go in what distinguishes a boy from a man as well. And then the other thing, ooh, what you just say, Dulcinea, I wanted to follow up on what you said. Repeat what you said real quick, Dulcie.
Yeah, I was saying, I'm bringing it into math and saying you can express
Okay,
the same
I
equal.
got it. Yeah, yeah. And I like what Sakina said, right? Because I didn't even think of that. We got two arms, two legs, two eyes, and that way we are. But what I really want to get into, what I think is the most pressing part of this question, is actually the experience of being a man and being a woman living in our society. Now, y'all being women, I would ask you, when you go about your everyday life, do you believe you are viewed as equal to men? Not not your own personal self-worth, but I'm just talking about the greater society. How do y'all see things? Are y'all being perceived as equal to men, above men, below men? How do you all perceive it?
I think that the power, I think one of our superpowers, as a woman, is our feminine expression, so to speak, right? Is our femininity. While some may view femininity as softer than masculinity, femininity is often and can be often more powerful than masculinity. So a woman that is in her full essence, or a woman who's very clear about her femininity, about her womanness, or however you want to phrase that, she can walk into a room full of men, like a full room full of gorillas, right? Like getting ready to go at it. And she can lock eyes with three of them and the room just calm down. You get
Mm,
what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
So um yeah, I guess it would depend on a person's perspective, and I think that that changes, right? It's very fluid. It's not anything that's static. It's not anything that's the same. It's very fluid, right? It's almost like how we all code switch. We all, have careers, whether we're retired or whether we're on, however however we're working, we all know how to code switch, right? We do it on a day-to-day basis, not even at work. We may have to do it, just engaging, going to a store, for example. You know how to switch up. So I think it's a very fluid experience. But again, the question you was asking in terms of how you view it and how I view my equality, again, it depends on the situation. But I have on many occasions, right, utilized my femininity, right, utilized how men see me or how men view me to be in control of a situation.
mm,
I've done it many a times. To get my way. I've even used it sometimes, by be honest with you, right? It hasn't always necessarily been for good reasons or so when I was much younger, right? It's a play thing, it's a game thing. So it all depends on how you use it. But I think a woman who's very clear about her essence, about who she is, that is a bad motherfucker. You hear me? A woman can walk into a room full of men getting ready to kill each other, and in 5 fucking seconds, just by locking eyes, just by giving a smile, just by commanding a room, that should calm down. Now, is that equal? I don't know. Depends on how you view it. But that's
mm.
definitely power.
Right, I agree. What you
Yeah.
think,
Okay.
Gemini?
Um, no, I don't think men see equal when they see women. But what they do see is respect. right? And so they realize that, oh, okay, even though, and because we don't see them equal, we still have to find some sort of footing. So we'll respect them. We'll give them the utmost respect, right? We'll open doors. We'll, make sure that they're okay. We will give them money. We will help support them, in such a way. We will do all of these things showing like outward gratitude that women exist. But do they see us equal? No, they don't. And having
Hmm.
younger daughters is something I've always, taught my daughters to be mindful of, is the way that men view women. And so sometimes you have to use a certain amount of charm in order to get the ear in the room. There's a lot of times that a woman just has to, be a woman in order to get uh, the things that she needs, in order to be heard, in order to be, in order to be safe, in order to be secure. And so again, it goes back to that. Why does she have to use other things other than just being her natural self? Because the equality is not there,
Right.
right? And so if the equality was there, there would be no need for a woman to do any of these things. She could just be like the rest. But then the question becomes, is that what we really want? After understanding what we are, after me understanding that you're a man, you're male, I'm female, I understand how this works. I've been female long enough. Do I even want to go back to be in equal with you? Would that be a good idea for me? And I don't think so. I think the way that is, I think there can be some tweaking. We need to tweak the way we see each other, because you shouldn't see somebody so weak, and weak being defined as helpless. If you're gonna say she's weak, then weak as in what? Her strength as it compares to yours. Maybe she's weak and all the things that you can do that she can't do, right? And then that can be turned around and be looked upon as a strength in the same breath. So I think we just need to tweak the way we see each other, and we'll be okay.
You see what Aton Yah said, Gemini? He mentioned your name in the chat.
Put men all in one basket. What, he did a number? Did you sound like you was in that basket? Because are you saying that you don't respect women, or that you see women as equal? Because it's okay if you see a woman as equal to you. Does that mean she has to do the jobs that you do? Hopefully she does not. Because there's no way I'm fixing your damn tire, taking out the trash, or doing anything. Right? So when we're talking about equal, that's why I said at the end of the day, do we even want the tables to turn? Do I want to be seen as equal to you? Because if that means I have to
Hmm.
do half of your job, then hell no. You got me messed up. It's not gonna
I
happen.
understand that. I
It's not gonna
understand that
happen.
because you do have these nowadays men that you have to ask to take out the garbage, these type of things, shovel the walk, these things that are automatic. You shouldn't have to ask, right? I've heard these stories. You have to ask them to do these type of things because they wasn't raised to do them automatic, or I don't know what to say about them, but um, these are the things I've heard. You gotta ask them to take out the garbage. They don't understand when the garbage is full that you gotta take out the garbage, or it's been snowing all day and they said it was gonna snow. So the sidewalk needs to be shoveled, or I've seen it here. Six snow plows going down one street, and they said it was gonna snow last night. Now coming from where I'm from, they would have been out last night shoveling all night. But where I'm at, they wait till in the morning. I don't understand it. So
Mm-hmm.
we got men that don't know how to change tires,
Mm-hmm.
men that don't know how to check the oil. I don't understand men that don't know how to put air in tires.
Right. Talking about
Mm,
equality.
mm.
Talking about
Change.
she could do it. She could do it.
So at the same time, chivalry is dead.
I
Girl.
like where you going. Keep going, Sakina. I like where you going. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead.
So I got bad knees, and every once in a while when I walk with my cane, I give props to every man that
I'm telling
holds
you.
the door open for me,
Mm, I'm telling you.
because chivalry is dead. And so when somebody open the door for me and hold the door, you better hold that door for me.
Baby, it's serious, ain't it, Sakina? It's
You better,
serious.
what you say, you better hold that door. What you better hold that door for me.
That's what I'm talking
I let
about.
them know, because I'm trying to tell you. And even sometimes if I don't have my cane, when you see it, you better honor it, because they
Mm.
didn't have to do it. That shows somebody mama showed them the right thing. When people say ma'am, yes ma'am, and no ma'am, and not I ain't gotta respect you because you ain't my elder, you never taught me nothing. That's how you test the fruit. When you say good morning, even though it ain't good for you.
Mm. Facts.
When you say hello, otherwise, when they just testing you with all that other stuff, that ain't testing the fruit. That's trying you. And you're going to find out I don't fit. That's how we play the game. But the game ain't to be played. Not
So
by
I
every.
want
The
I
game is to
want
be
to ask
played.
y'all, do y'all agree with
Let
this,
me
right?
let me answer your first question before you ask a different question.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know
Yeah.
you were still there, Dosey.
Yeah. I was waiting for Sakina to be done.
I'm done. I get to going on about other stuff. I'm sorry.
So you asked if it in the real world or if out and about, if we experience that men or women are equal, and I would say the answer is it depends on what room or where you are as far as it. If you're at work and there's a quantitative expectations of your quality of work, then that's not gender based. They'll let you go whether you're a man or what woman and not meeting up to their standards of where they would like the quality of work to be done. But of course, there are moments as far as where women are exalted. There's moments where men are exalted. There's certain positions that are less. You're going to see less women be able to get to those positions because they see it as men will do those positions better. But I would say overall, if we're talking about a Western experience and just the benefits outside of career or work, you see that there's more benefits to being a woman than there is to being a man.
Dustin there your ass, girl.
It's a fact.
But in the
Ooh-wee.
working world though, do you feel like the expectations are the same? Like, let's say you're doing the same job as a man. Do you think that everyone in that workplace is expecting your quality of work to be the same or equal to a man's quality, or do you feel like you're given leniency because you're a woman?
It depends on the job. Like if it's heavy lifting or different things like that, of course they're giving leniency because it's a woman. But if it's
Hmm.
the computer science field that I'm in, there's no leniency based on gender. It's all going to be based on qualitative expectations that have nothing to do with giving someone leniency because they're a woman, giving someone leniency because they're old, any of that. They expect you to meet a certain standard.
Okay. Yeah, my next question, because I after we did the show yesterday, I asked a friend the same question, and we kind of went down the rabbit hole of talking about how things have changed now, and she said something along the lines of women have become more masculine today and men have become a little bit more feminine today.
Ooh.
Now hold on. I understand why she said that, but I didn't fully agree because I almost think that both are masculine and they're butting heads. They ain't really trade
Ooh.
places. they on the same wave. You listen to the
Mm.
music, the women are rapping like dudes. Like
Mm.
I think they both hyper masculine. But I want to know
Mm-hmm.
what y'all think.
Mm.
I
Goodness,
might
can
be
he
wrong.
talk?
That
Oh
was
no,
so
it's
good.
all right. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I'm here now.
I think that
Welcome.
I think that honestly, I think there's many reasons for what we're seeing today, right? But it's sort of like the fruit has to grow from somewhere. So I just want to preface the conversation with I think it's very easy for us to like kind of like point that out, and you're absolutely right. But there's a root to the problem, right? So I wonder
Mm.
if the parents, right? Because what was going on with the parents who birthed them? Were they also were the women also over masculine and the men kind of feminine? I mean, I don't know. I'm asking.
I think
Oh, you.
society.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, wait a minute.
No, no, no. Go
Wait,
ahead.
wait, because yeah, because I'm like, are we all going to answer that question before we answer Doc's question?
No, no, yeah, no. It was more rhetorical, but you got it. Go ahead. Yeah, I just wanted to add to the conversation here what y'all was going to say. But Gemini, you're next. Go ahead. You got it.
Um, Jay, man, that was so good. It's so crazy because there are so many factors, right, on why you see this masculine energy in women. And I tried to explain this to a couple of men who just shut me down. They don't even want to conversate about it, or they don't even want to talk about it, right? Because for some reason or another, this topic, when you sit and say that women have become masculine, you take like in my case where my husband passed, that left me by default the head of the house. Okay, and so then am I supposed to just bring the next man right on in my house? I don't think so, right? So there are a lot of things I had to pick up that he would be doing, and then make sure, because I had to make sure the kids would do the same things that he was doing, right? And so you kind of, in my house, I kind of lead by example. Like I don't do anything that, I won't tell my boys do anything that I wouldn't do. But in the
Mm.
same breath, there are things that they have to do. You're just going to have to do this. You may not feel like it, but this is your job. You are a male in this household. This is your job. But then every single year that passes and I get older, I'm not exactly in the mood to be that feminine any longer, because I've done so much of his part, which by default made me more masculine than I ever wanted to be. So now I'm a little bit stronger, a little bit deeper, a little bit of every single thing that's just hitting you, because you have to. You can't just let your house fall. So then therefore you gotta get into it. But does that make you more masculine? Yes, it does. Now, the women who have another man step right on into that role, I think they get an opportunity to be a little bit more feminine, and that may be some business, and that may be a whole lot of stuff, a whole enigma wrapped into that entire situation. I don't have time to break down everything, but by default, some women are more masculine, and then by society itself in general, like you said in the music, watching all the women now that that have changed genders, that are repping
Oh
the male.
man.
I mean, the numbers are, I mean, oh my gosh. It's like they're getting a Beyonce song, Who Run the World, Girls, the song is coming to fruition. What is going on? There's a lot out
Mm.
there. So you have hit the nail on the head. But again, I just don't think that women want to become men. I think it's half and half. I think by default, some women have to do the jobs that they were left in charge of doing, and it just has to get done. And so by default, that makes you stronger mentally and everything else physically, all together. And then there is that woman who just right out defies and it's like, I'm a rebel. I'm defying femininity. I'm switching genders on y'all. So
But is that a gender or is that adaptation of behavior? That's what I'm saying about it being a social construct, right? What is feminine? Is being feminine identify with being a woman? Is that what we're saying? Because those are behaviors. Those are learned
uh
behaviors.
No, no, no,
You
no,
just
I'm
said
no,
that
no,
I
no,
was
no.
I'm just
Hold on, Doc.
asking.
I don't know if
No,
I
no,
should
no. Listen, though. Listen.
embrace it
Let
and
me,
go
let me,
along.
let me. That's a good point. But listen, there are some things that we're just born with that we do. That's not a behavior, right? So if you put a female and a male
Ooh.
together, that female is just going to do certain things. Other things are the learned behavior as you start to grow
Okay.
and mimic. But you're not just going to act like a boy, and a boy is just not going to act like a girl right off the back. That's
There
just
you
not
go.
how that
Thanks for
goes.
clarifying. There you go. That's why I asked. You got it. You got
Yeah.
it. You got
You
it.
know what I mean?
I want to say if it's
You
my
got it.
turn yet to talk,
Yeah, go
Go
um,
ahead.
in.
Oh, I know
Go in, freedom.
freedom.
Go in.
Go ahead.
I kind
Johnny
of
be
agree.
lately. Said Johnny be lately that you be telling him you be good. You call it the black
Johnny
race or
come
the Indian race.
lately.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, Johnny come
Johnny
lately.
come lately. Okay. I want to say I kind of agree with both Gemini and both dots. You know, I think this is what a man sometimes says you're masculine, sometimes it's misunderstood with passionate or being disagreeable. And sometimes men tend to say you're being masculine when you're just being defiant because you don't agree with his narrative or what it is that he's saying that you should do. I kind of came in late, so I really don't know where this conversation came from, but I'm kind of try to jump in it. Um, and as far as the men becoming feminine, uh society like it's kind of telling them that they can. You know what I mean? You gotta understand is everything about them is estrogen. You know what I mean? The food that they eat, the meat that they eat, they come from a woman. So I mean, they gotta be very careful because it's easy for them to slip over into that role, I guess. Um, I, I, it's weird, you know. Like I said, I agree with Dots and Gemini. You know what I mean? It's kind of I don't know as far as masculine. I think it can be disguised. It can be disguised because if you notice, I don't know if you two ladies will agree with me, but sometimes when you don't agree with a man, they'll say you're being masculine,
Mm,
and
in a
you're
heartbeat.
just not agreeing with them, and because you might say no or talk back or something like that, they say that that's masculine energy when I'm just saying no or just being disagreeable. And when as far as a man being feminine, I don't know if he stays in mirror too much for me. I don't know. I don't know about that. The feminine thing with the man. Because some men just naturally have feminine ways. And
Oh,
Good
you
point.
don't think that some men have
I
some
don't
men
know,
that
cause you gotta.
have feminine ways and somebody could say I'm very masculine because I have a strong personality, but I'm just passionate. See how it can be disguised?
Mm.
I'm not a pushover. I'm a revolutionist by nature. I mean, I'm a very hard person. You see what I'm saying? So somebody could take that as being masculine.
That's a
So
good point.
it,
Those are
so
good
Oh,
it,
points. Good
I
point.
mean,
Sakina. Oh,
Um, well, I agree with kind of with all of y'all, but I have a whoa in front of my manliness. I'm a
you
woman,
don't realize it.
and so that's it's I'm like because I just identify with my yang because we're both feminine and masculine
Yeah.
and yin and yang, so I identify with my yang, and so I stand strong when I have to, but that doesn't make me masculine. I'm just a strong woman. And so I have a woe in front of my manliness, makes me feminine when I mainly, and I do have to stand strong for myself when need be to keep me from getting ran over. But all at
Okay.
the same time, I'm a woman at all times. So that's what makes me different. I'm not you. I'm man. I'm a
That's
woman.
there. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I put him up before. I got it.
So that's what we have to be. We are yin yang. We're both. We're masculine and feminine. If we are one battery, we
True.
have to be positive and negative.
Ooh.
That's
See what I'm
true.
saying?
So
So
true.
we have to we go on and off. So we have
Mm.
to have both energies. Now when you become too much of one, then you want to let one overpower you, right?
Mm.
That's you see what I'm saying? So you have to be in control of all of that. So can women, do women? The answer is yes. Can men be too feminine? Yes. We do have a lot of sensitive brothers out here, a little too sensitive. We do have a lot of masculine out
Talk about it.
Absolutely.
Talk about it.
here, right?
Talk about it.
Right. We got sisters out here sagging with big asses.
Oh man.
You right? And she
Oh
should be
man.
Hey, where?
she definitely shouldn't be sagging. It's offensive. Straight up offensive.
Akita.
You right?
uh,
Right? We got brothers out here with that song Gemini, Who Run the World, girls, and he out here dropping it.
Yes.
He got a
Oh,
straight
ew.
that'll make me faint. Like, oh my God, how did he do that? Look here. He want muscles
Oh
all
my
over his body.
gosh.
And listen here. You better
Mm,
sing.
I-
But I'm just saying, but at the end of the day, we all can be a little but you see what I'm saying? Let somebody kid get in trouble or whatever, you turn into Hercules real quick. Didn't know you had it
Right.
in you.
I'm
So
telling you. I am telling you. Woo.
right.
but now it's about your own control though at the same time. You can't say the devil made you do it because you the devil. And with that, I
So,
pass.
okay. So yeah, I would say I agree with her. I mean, if we took someone super traditional, if you took my grandma and put her in a room with the women of these days, she would say that they are more masculine or they act more like men. You put my grandfather in the room with men these days, he's gonna say that they're more feminine and they act like women. It's all perspective based on what you see the qualities of masculinity and femininity to be. But yeah, definitely as far as if you're looking at traditional qualities, what people would have done in the past, then men are more feminine these days and women are more masculine.
Yeah, well, I think I come from the age where I can remember. Sakina, I want to ask you that. Do you remember when women started wearing pants?
Mm.
Probably when I did, I think.
Remember that? I mean, the only two I could only ask Sakina that because, but I'm just saying I remember when we started wearing pants. Now, if they did it before, then I don't know. But I think once it's all a mental thing. Once we started wearing pants, we started thinking that we were on the same level as a man. And you know what has happened also, and I'm sorry for jumping in, y'all, but the colors. Now all of a sudden men's wearing pink shirts and the colors that women normally wear. Now men have their colors like blue, brown, black, their colors. Now all of a sudden they're wearing all these feminine colors.
Hot
It's
pink, bubblegum
the
pink,
hot pink, all kinds of
unicorn pink.
Man, putting filters and Snapchat filters in
lavender,
the
all these
videos.
colors.
Oh
Like, what
man.
is wrong with y'all? Like,
Mm.
I saw
Damn, don't say that now, Sister Freedom, because now I feel some type of way because I sure got on my pink and I'm sure
Oh,
representing my
oh,
I'm
Yeah.
I'm sure representing my
Yeah,
cat
that's
over
oh
here.
man.
I'm
Oh
I'm
man.
Say
your
it
We done
ain't
own
turned up
so.
okay.
here.
Say
Oh
it ain't
I'm
man.
sure
so.
representing
Oh
I
shit.
don't think
my
colors
breast
can make
cancer
Oh
you.
awareness.
I don't think
man.
colors can make you more feminine
Damn,
or more
Sister Frida.
masculine. Because okay, there's a lot
My
of
God.
women that
My
wear
God.
pink, and that doesn't make them more feminine.
no,
So
it
I don't agree
doesn't.
with
It
that with
doesn't. I
colors.
wasn't saying that. I said things have changed. Where now, like when we started wearing pants, we you know what I'm saying? You could be wearing it because now you have a lot of respect for the feminine aspects of your life. You know what I'm
breast
saying?
cancer.
Hot fudge sundae
Yeah,
with a
breast
cherry
cancer.
on top.
Oh my
Breast
God.
cancer, a lot of things.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
saying
rock my
that
pink at least
things
once a
have
month. It don't
changed.
have to be breast cancer month for me. I rock my pink shirt for my cousins them who survived breast cancer. I rock at least
Yes.
once a month.
Yes. Oh,
You know, pink look really good on dark skin. I love dark men with pink,
absolutely, it
right?
do. I was
My
just
son, I
talking about
dress him in
how
pink all
things
the
have
time.
Well, I
changed.
like light
That's
skinned
why.
men with pink on too. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
think that
like
correlates nor the
period.
pants.
Mm,
I
Yeah,
was
we
just
want the
saying
light
how
skin. We
things,
trying to
how
bring the light skin is
Woo,
80s. We
Lord
want
have
the
mercy.
dark men now.
I'm just
You
saying how
had jumped in too, so you can't be mad, Sister
Oh,
Oh,
Frida.
I'm
sorry,
not
It was
sorry.
mad.
You're
God's
right.
I'm
You're
just
fault.
right. I
saying,
did.
I
I
was
did
just
jump
saying,
in. You're right.
No,
I,
no, it was your turn. She jumped in, so everybody can jump in.
I'm not being mad. I'm just saying
You look like
I
a
was
chocolate
making sure
strawberry
I
shake.
didn't disrespect. I was making sure that I didn't
Not a
disrespect.
chocolate strawberry shake.
No, I was saying though, if it was going in order, once it's out of
Have you
order.
ever
No,
had
it
one
was
that's
not. I was not
delicious?
ordered because I wasn't here. But go ahead, because I can't. I mean, I say one thing and everybody jumps in.
Okay,
So
I'm sorry, Freedom. I'm sorry.
no, I was just saying that pink does look good on men. I'm talking about how times have
Oh
changed.
my gosh.
That's all. I was just talking about how times have changed and things have changed. Men are wearing tight jeans now, legging like jeans, where they didn't wear that before either.
Wait, hold
That's
on,
that's
Freedom. Is
all I'm
that
And
saying.
true
they
though?
so tight.
Freedom, is that true
And
though?
they so
Freedom?
tight.
Because I thought they
But
did
So
in the
tight,
70s
Freedom.
and 80s.
I
Yeah, they did.
Yep,
remember.
they sure
I don't
did.
I don't remember them wearing tight jeans then.
Yeah, they
But
I
did.
can be
Oh
able to
no,
pull up
me
a
They wore
picture
either.
tight
of
slacks.
Ron
They wore
Me
tight
Isley and
either.
the
slacks.
Isley brothers and all them. They got
Girl,
their
they
leather
were
pants, their
entertainers,
leather
not
I don't
things.
regular
remember
They got
that.
people.
fringes on with their leather
That's
pants.
right, Gemini.
No,
They
they
talk
look
I
about
like
get
entertainers.
everyday.
Ain't
They
no
got
regular
tight
person
slacks.
walking down
entertainers.
no
Those
street
guys were
wearing no
walking down. There
fringes
were
with
guys
They
no
were
tight
having
walking down
ass
the
fringes
street
on
pants.
their
with
drawers and stuff
blouses and
on.
tight pants on in the 70s. Don't play.
When I
If
told
you
my
see
friends,
them
like,
walking
y'all,
down the street, you could say,
No,
nice ass.
this wasn't Prince. This was just regular niggas that admired Prince, I guess. And they had their
Yes.
blouses
maybe
on
where
and
y'all
their
lived
tight
at, they
pants.
better not have did that in Atlantic City because I ain't never seen
Yeah,
no man with
but
tight
where
jeans.
was they going to the
Saturday
club?
Night
Maybe
Fever.
they was going
It
to the
don't
club.
matter where they were going. If they were going to the
Yeah,
club,
it
they
does
wore
matter
tight
because people
pants.
dress up at the club. It does
And
matter
Yeah.
where you
these young
going.
dudes dress up with go in the club, and that's why they wear tight
Earth,
pants.
Wind, and
No, they
Fire.
So
don't.
I
do
must
At
be
the
they
so old
have
about
airport,
that.
them damn
Cooler
pants
and
was
See,
so
I was
Tight.
tight on
on
those
those
they
men at the
have them in the
airport.
airport
saying
too.
how
They
old
Southern
you
couldn't
Comfort had them
even
on in
walk
the
to the
airport
plane.
too.
It looked like they was skipping. Them damn pants were so tight. Every time they was walking, it looked like they was skipping. They asked all these men skipping down the damn to the.
No, that's right,
I said, what
Gemini.
the hell?
Those
Oh
leather
boy.
suits look more like they was skipping.
See what
Them
you done open up,
red
Jay.
red leather
And,
Oh
vested
yeah.
and the
I
girls
have
pants,
a
and
are
then
wearing
question for you guys. I have a
wearing
question.
underwears.
and
The
then
I
they
girls
have
didn't
a
have
are
no
question.
shirt on underneath. They had Daisy Dukes. They sure did. Sakina had them Daisy Dukes on.
Not Daisy Duke.
wearing.
Not
Don't
Daisy
listen to
Duke.
Dulcinea was like 5 years old. How she know?
She
She looking
wasn't
at
five.
pictures.
And
She
I
wasn't even
She
saw
was
born.
and I saw
uh-uh.
She
She,
listen, I
she
wasn't
was on
5
that
years old in
Ebony
the
and Jet
70s, and I
magazine
still
talking about
saw them. I saw how
Got
people
my
look
you.
like
brothers were
this.
wearing back in those days. So
I
that
She
ain't
don't
was
no
on
know
that
what
mystery
you
Ebony.
thing.
about
She was in
Dulcinea.
that Essence magazine talking
Jay,
about
we
this look
need
like
your
everybody look
moderation. Come
like.
on, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice
that's
y'all
what they
show.
were
I'm
doing.
trying to let y'all rock. It's y'all show.
Listen, I have a
Well, I'm
question.
saying
I have
I
a
hope you
question.
don't wear them, Jay, and I hope OTK don't wear them Daisy Dukes.
Okay, so my question is, this is to Jay's question, right?
Don't do that.
When y'all left off with the man and the woman of the equality, I have a question. I want to add on to a question. So
Brother Law
I
was
don't remember.
wearing those leather pants.
I don't remember
With
who was
fringes.
it that just mentioned about the women started
That's
wearing pants
funny.
thinking they were equal. I just heard that point a
That
few
was
minutes ago.
Freedom.
me.
Okay,
That was
so
me.
listen, I have a question for that. I have a question. So in the sense of where we're talking about the man, and woman equality. So like with the feminist movement, right? Where a lot of that whole conversation about equality, women, and do you guys think that feminist movement advanced like the woman's agenda or the woman's equality for all? Do you think that it was an agenda more geared for white women? And do you think that
One question at a time.
okay.
So
So
here's the thing that I was
what do
saying
y'all think?
psychologically. I'm
Hold
saying
on, hold on. Let
everything's
Gemini answer first, and then you, Sister Freedom.
But no, I thought she was asking me because she said who asked the question. Who
No, I was
mentioned
adding
it?
No,
on to
she's
what you were
asking
saying. I'm
everybody on the
saying it
panel.
to the whole panel. To the whole panel.
So let Gemini go, then you, then Sakina, then me.
Oh, well, it was so many questions. What was the what was the
That's what
question?
I said.
Okay, let me resend to that. So I heard Freedom said she was the one who said it. Remember when she said she had mentioned something about, when women started wearing pants, that also made a lot of women think that they were equal, quote unquote, to men, right? So it made
Right.
me think of the feminist movement in this country. And I hear a lot of conversation about, was it an agenda for all women, regardless of race? So my question to you guys do you think that it has benefited us in particular, right? The feminist agenda or the feminist movement. Do you think that it has benefited us? Do you think that we have more equality because of it? Or do you think that it has benefited more for
Oh
like white women?
yeah. Well, well, to be honest, no, it wouldn't have mattered one way or the other. I think because it just got so much press. It was a great topic for conversation. It was a great conversation at the time, but little did women know, which is something I want to actually bring up. Women don't share what they're going through with other women. So men die and women have to take up the slack. And so you don't know you have to change gender roles or swap genders until you're actually in that position. And I think if that's something that we actually talk about and sit and say, oh, okay, you know what? Hey, you don't know if your spouse is gonna die, and you may be the one out there having to change that flat tire. You know what I
I'm
mean? You
confused.
may be the one having to pump your own gas. You may be the
That's
one having to, worry about the bills, go to work, pay the bills, and get everything taken care of. And so it's the same thing back then, right? They only talked about that one topic. They didn't talk about the other factors that contribute to why a woman needs to be more independent. Not just because she needs to be equal to a man, because she needed to know in the first place to be able to foresee her own future so she can protect her own household.
oh,
So certain conversations
Who's
were
eating?
just
They need to mute up. If you're
me.
not talking, you need to mute up because I can hear chewing in the background.
Yeah, who is that with the gum? It wasn't me. Well, Longy, it wasn't me.
Oh man, go
no, it
ahead,
was
yo.
one of y'all. It was one of y'all. But if
My
they would have
hand
took
went up. I
that,
think it's TK.
let's think if they would have changed that conversation, right, or that topic, instead of saying, hey, we're tired of being oppressed by men, and we think you should come up out your roles as a woman and do things for yourself, as opposed to saying, no, guess what, guys, i'm
Mm.
I'm an older woman who's telling you that one day you may have to run a household. Here's why equality is important, so that you can learn how to handle the finances in the books, so that you can know all the parts and pieces to a car, the basic fundamentals of a car. This is how you sit here and work a 9 to 5 job, right? This is how you sit here and do a lot of things that men do. And when you don't have that male present, you are missing so many components to wholeness,
Pants.
right? So that's why I think that conversation didn't really hit home for college students and white women. It didn't really hit
Mm.
home to the average black woman who was already at home doing these roles, right? And we were the children just watching our
Ooh.
moms just go through all of this. But if mom would have said, you know what, baby, let me prepare you a little bit better
Mm.
for real life, then we wouldn't be having these issues trying to figure it out at the last minute, at the 12th hour.
Mm.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I done got kind of okay. Mm. All right. I think what you said was right, Gemini, but not
Feminism.
that didn't go with well, okay. The reason why I
She
said that,
asked the
Doctor,
question.
yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I thought she was saying something else, so maybe I misunderstood. Did that help with the feminist movement? Well, first, let me answer the first question. Mentally, everything starts in the mind. So if you're telling me that I can wear pants like a man at a time, I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about at the time that we started doing that. Um, I I mentally will probably start thinking I'm on his level, because I can tell you, even with me, when I have my dresses on and my overgarments and things of that nature, I feel feminine. I want to do everything girly. But when I have on pants, it changes the narrative for me. It makes me feel like I gotta handle this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. I'm like I mentally is not as feminine as I am in my dress. I'm at now even it goes so far as to, for me, is even wearing sneakers versus shoes. When I have on sneakers, I'm one person, unless they're very, very, very feminine sneakers, like they got to have like a little heel to them, designer or something like that. But if I just have regular Nikes, Adidas on, or something like that, and a pair of tights, or even tights, jeans, anything, my personality is not the same as when I have a dress on. It just it's just two separate feelings, because I think it's all in the mind first. Second, do I think that the feminine movement helped us? Yeah, it it helped us a little bit. It helped us a lot, actually, because now we get to vote, we get to make decisions, we get to work on boards that we wasn't allowed to work on before the feminine movement. We get to have more say so now. So I can't see how, it hurt us. Now, of course, what Gemini was saying was that the black woman was already doing it. Well, I don't know if I agree with that, because back at a time, the black woman was being a homemaker. She was the man was out working. I don't care if he was washing windows, he was working, and she was home with the children. So yeah, I agree that maybe somebody older, if somebody would have told us that we would have had to do this if we have lost or broke up with our husband. But I don't even know what it is that it goes back to that social thing that Dots was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like taking out the trash. Yeah, I can take the trash out. I can sweep the floor. That's what the man normally does. He sweeps the floor sometime, takes the trash out. Um, he go to work, but you can work too. I don't see what the big what do the man do in the house? Oh yeah. You said a tire? Hell yeah, maybe we should learn how to change our tires. We don't want to, and we can get somebody else to do it for us, really. But yeah, I'm gonna get that answer. That's everything starts in the mind. That's really what I wanted to get back to, is everything starts in the mind. If you put me in men's stuff, I'm gonna probably not be that feminine. And if you just like if you put a man in feminine things, he's not gonna act completely like no. If you put a dress on a man, he ain't acting like no man. Unless you're talking about, I better take that back, because Dulcinea's so slick. She'll say, well, people in Scotland wear skirts, but they men.
And they did. And they did. Kilts are our thing. But go ahead and end it.
That's why I said that we fixed it, because, I mean, they grew up this way. You know what I'm saying? But particularly the men over here.
I'm not using no Bible scriptures, Tyrone.
Okay. I'm just saying the men over here usually wear pants. And even in Islam, they wear the izar. They wear the izar is the little skirts, but they normally try to wear pants underneath them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a thing. I mean, I know how I am with my pants on versus my overgarment or a dress. It's just, Go ahead, Sakina, because I don't have nothing else to say about that.
Well,
yeah, I I
I
want to hear
just
the
know pants or a dress, I'm gonna act the same. But as far as the feminine movement, right? I
How
believe
you know
that,
you acting the same though, Sakina?
huh?
How you know you acting the same?
Because clothes don't make me,
Okay.
I agree,
right?
Sakina.
Okay, exactly.
Well,
And
y'all
so,
had well, you had a time
right.
when we've been doing it, Dustin. That we've been doing it at your time.
And so,
Nah,
I
too
guess.
the
sexy for
feminine,
that.
I believe that the feminine movement, as a result,
Okay.
eventually, right? Because everything was not intended for us no way. So in the beginning, it had to help who it was intended for. And as a result, it couldn't leave us out, right? So it had to help us out because it couldn't leave us out. You see what I'm saying? And so, um, in order to protect all women, it had to, you right, because of the admixtures. So it had to help us out. It wasn't intended for us in the beginning, but in the end, it had to include us because there was no way around it. So because of some of the things that it had to target like sexual harassment, it had to target battery, it had to target what so-called equality and justice for women. So they had to target all women, right? Some of these things it had to do, so there was no way around not including us. So that's how I view that.
Okay, I will say first with what Sakina was saying, I agree wholeheartedly. I don't think it has anything to do with clothes as far as with your feelings. There's people, they can wear jeans and cowboy boots and a cowboy hat and everything, and they can be super feminine still. So it's all about how you portray yourself, whether you're going to be feminine or masculine, and it really doesn't matter the clothes. But there are a different thing of a daintiness that comes with wearing dresses, because you're like, oh, I have this dress on, now I'm not going to do certain things. I have to have I can't have my legs open, different things like that you shouldn't do anyways, but you'll be more mindful of it when you have a dress on. When it comes to the feminist movement, I disagree with what everyone is saying. As far as it didn't benefit anyone. It didn't benefit white women or black women. What the feminist movement was an agenda based movement. So whenever they had a certain agenda, they would attach it to the feminist movement. And you look up the women's suffrage in the beginning, they wanted to stop getting men to drink. Now there were men that would be alcoholics or anything, but that was far from all men. They really wanted to stop men from drinking so much, as far as to help with their work production, different things that had,
And
and
DV.
them not enjoy themselves. So then they attached the prohibition movement to the feminist movement to say, oh, let's get these white women saying they're getting beat up by their husbands and it's because of alcohol and all this other stuff. So it's always been agenda based way before they brought black women in it. But once they targeted black women, it was all agenda based. It was all to separate the black woman from the family, all to separate the black woman from man, and everything that people attribute to the feminist movement. Like I seen in the chat, Marcus was saying exactly. Voting didn't come because of the feminist movement; it came from the civil rights movement. Different things as far as quantitative aspects that they gave women came from totally different acts and different people that had nothing to do with the feminist movement. So we see even to this day with the Me Too movement how they hijacked it for an agenda and not to be used for people to actually get to speak on what they've experienced, but rather for them to do different agendas like work their way up in Hollywood or anything like that. So what we see as far as the feminist movement, it was never as far as to build equality for women or anything like that. It's always been used and all really been used by white men to get what they need or whatever agenda that they want to play out.
Wait, Dustin, now let me add on that too what Marcus was saying. Oh, so one of the ladies said that voting was due to the feminist movement. It was no, it was due to the civil rights movement. But things like socialism, um, and employment, those type of opportunities fall under feminism.
Let the men answer about that as far as
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, the situation with the wearing the pants and all of that,
yeah,
because I
yeah.
don't
I want to jump
psychologically
in on that.
even, yeah, I really do, because I psychologically I don't think Dustin even had the opportunity to ever experience not the, I don't know. So
Well,
she's
I'll
Yeah,
say
I
this
mean, when
very.
I was
Hold on,
younger, I
hold
would
on.
only be in skirts or
Hold on,
anything. I'm
Dope.
just had to go into that part as far as it is that, yeah, there's definitely a thing as far as with wearing skirts and dresses. That's not just a time frame. That's all of us. We've all experienced that.
I don't know. I think that y'all just hoochie mamas no matter what. But go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
they didn't dress. They didn't dress 3-year-olds as hoochie mamas. My mom would have been
Red hoochie
older.
Come
mamas.
on,
My
that's
mom would have
fair.
been
I'm
older
joking.
than you. And my
Go
mom
ahead.
didn't have me when she was 16. So that's more thing a young women did as far as with dressing up their young girls like that. But my mom was 34 when she had me and she would be older than you. So no, she didn't dress me like a hoochie mama.
I know you wasn't dressed like a hoochie mama. None of us dressed like a hoochie mama. I said I
Well,
think that
I was
y'all
making it clear.
are hoochie
You
mamas,
have to
not
understand the generations. What you think is a generational thing isn't always the facts.
Shit, the ones that wasn't dressed like the hoochie mamas was the ones I was looking for. The ones who was dressed like a hoochie mama, shit, they got too many.
I can remember. That's why I was
You
saying
can't
Dustin
say
had to
that.
use
How
some
you know
Yeah,
that?
because I mean, they time
Hey,
frame had the Freakniks. We
I'm
ain't had
speaking
that
for
stuff.
me. It's
That they
subjective,
were the big
Gemini.
freaks in
That's
their
why,
time frame.
Gemini.
And they
I
that's
can
why they
say
try
that,
to
Gemini,
judge us
because
with
it's
all they freaky stuff that they are
I
doing.
don't know. I
You
feel
see the
differently
women
Yeah,
about
that
but the
that.
just the freedom
Freakniks,
they
but
ain't
the
afraid
Freaknik,
to be
the
called a
Freakniks was
freaknik.
still the more social though. The Freakniks
okay.
was about the socialization too, giving us black people something to do, socialize with each other, and
Nobody
then make a little
indigenous
money.
black
Freak,
Well,
people.
women
freak
y'all
me,
age was definitely
freak
scared to
me.
be caught on them tapes. They were like, please don't let my husband find out I was
But
at the
that's after
freaknik.
the alcohol.
Freak
That's not what
me,
the
freak
Freaknik
me.
was about. That's after
Actually,
the alcohol. Because after alcohol, anywhere you can get that crazy going on. Some people just
oh,
shouldn't drink.
do y'all know the history of Freaknik?
No,
All I
give me
See,
know
the
when
it
y'all
wasn't
history.
talk
our
Spell it
about
out.
generation.
anyway,
When you
We
talk
ain't
about
hold on,
taught
hold on.
that.
The reason why
One
I'm
freaknik
asking,
is
they
y'all
be
hold on,
thinking
generation,
how
not
to read
ours.
hold on.
it.
The reason why I'm asking because when you talk about Freaknik, you also got to include Black Bikers Week, South
Oh,
Carolina and Myrtle Beach with that. And also Florida spring break. It's like those three events right there was major for us who we call today black people.
No way you can. I guess you could tie it, but you can't just be a freaknik on them bikes. You'll get burnt up. If
No, no,
anybody
no.
been on
What
a
I'm saying,
no,
motorcycle,
no.
listen,
What
what I'm
it
they're
saying,
burning up your
started,
listen.
coochie.
I
what
said,
started the
I said,
Freakniks.
not only that, but I said it was like those was like three of the major celebrations for blacks during my era. Like it was either Freaknik, Spring Bling, and Florida, and then you travel from that damn Jacksonville all the way down to Daytona with the parties in Florida, and then you had Freaknik in Georgia, and then you had Black Bikers Week here at Myrtle Beach. Those was like epic things for black people on the south in the south. Those three things. Those
Yeah,
was
I'm
like
not saying that it's wrong
yeah,
that those were epic or anything. I just
yeah.
wanted
That's
to
all I was
be it
saying.
be
That's
to
all I
be
was saying.
said as far as it because a lot of stuff is said about the millennial generations or younger generations when the older generations were just as freaky or even more freaky. There was just as many hoochie mamas. They were outside having sex at the freaknik. We don't like
But
that's
that's
something that's
also
more unheard of
seasonal.
for
That
us.
wasn't all year. Yeah, it wasn't all year round,
I
but it was
Seasonal
mean,
for
seasonal.
your generation though, Gemini, not
Yeah,
seasonal for
but no,
ours.
no, 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 no. I know because your generation is all day,
who
every day.
taught
That's why
y'all?
you can
Who
go
taught
to the
y'all?
grocery
Who taught
store and
y'all?
everywhere and
That's
see
why they
all
Hold
not
them
on,
hoes
different. That's what I'm saying.
hold
They
on.
not different.
Who
everywhere.
taught
They
y'all? Who
feel as
taught
though they
y'all
not
to put
different
on
with a skirt
clothes?
They
Who
dress
wasn't
on
taught y'all
hoes
to
back
put
in
on
the day.
clothes?
If they
Who
went to
taught
the
y'all to
and
go
if
and have sex in
if
private?
you worked at the grocery store, you had to be grocery store
I just always
professional.
knew. I guess I don't know.
Who
Some no one
outlawed?
taught
Who
me. I just knew
outlawed?
that you
Who
had sex
outlawed
in
sex
private.
in private? I mean, who outlawed sex in public? We got to think now.
A
Somebody
person with
Oh,
a
always
right
put
what?
a
mind.
law on something. They put
Oh
I'm
my
along
for
God.
it.
sex in
I'm for
public
sex being private. Oh, I don't know.
and
Kudos to
private.
that person.
I'm saying if I go on the beach with me and my girl and I want to spread a towel out and me and my girl want to
I
have
don't want
sex
my
on
son
on
seeing that. I don't want my
you don't
son
want your
seeing
Right.
that I'm
son
at the
seeing
beach.
that?
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
my
Oh
And
son seeing
wow.
that.
Well, all
That's
right. Well, I
wild.
tell
We're
you
going to go
what.
to
Okay.
a
Okay,
remote
now hold on
location
now.
that's a naked
All
beach
right.
that allows that, and do not go to a family held beach because I don't want my son seeing it.
Okay, well now let me tell you
Miss
this.
Nicole was like, Freaknik was great.
What
She giving
what
away
She
all.
what
was, it is, but see,
She
In
giving
the
away
all you
all.
90s.
old women,
Yeah.
that's
Listen,
what
there
I'm
was
so
freaks in
saying.
the
Before
Bible, y'all.
you
Stop
say how
fronting. I
wild
hope we're
young
not
women
trying to act
are,
like the freaks just came out in
understand
the
that y'all
90s. There
was
were
wild
freaks in
ain't
the
too.
no
That's
Bible.
shit.
all my point was, is
Right.
that
There were
everybody's
freaks
wild in
before
that
Jesus was
young people
born. The freaks
I
have
generation.
don't
been
remember none of
I
that.
know
I
about
don't
y'all.
see in my time, Dots. I don't remember.
Freaknik was your
I
time,
don't
Sister
remember
Freedom.
none of that.
But that was your time, though. That was
It
your
might have been,
No,
but
time.
it
see, I
wasn't.
guess
No,
everybody.
it
I don't
wasn't.
remember that.
Yes,
Remember,
it
like the
Freak
was.
me.
It
No,
freak
it
was
I
era,
don't
wasn't.
Generation
remember
y'all.
X.
that.
The
It
No.
was
hippie era.
And
Generation
I'm
People
from
X.
love
She
Atlantic
was
But
City,
era.
so
she's
the
not
beach
no
was
Generation
water.
X.
Yes, she
Yeah, we
is.
She
Yes, Sister
she is
Freedom
the
is.
year
She's
before
Generation
that.
X.
She is the
No,
60s,
she
the
not boomer.
70s.
That's
Who?
Generation X. That's
No,
Generation
Generation
X.
X came in the 80s, baby. I'm a whole Generation X, so I know. That's the 80s. But Sister
When
Freedom,
I lived in the
Freedom, how
80s
old were
too,
you in the
Gemini.
80s? Well, I know. How old were you in the 80s?
Why?
Oh.
So I mean, if that's if you ain't had nobody no business there being there at 10, 13 years old.
Oh my gosh. I wasn't at the
Is
Freakniks at
anyone
10 and
born?
12 and
Anyone
13.
born
We just
between
said it was the
I mean,
80s.
I
1965
just
and
wasn't raised like
1980?
y'all.
Generation
He
X is
said, "Why
anyone
you want to
born
know my
between
age?"
I wasn't raised like
1965
none of
and
y'all because I
1980.
don't
That's
know nothing
Generation
about.
X.
I
And
mean,
I
I
don't, and Sister Freedom is born between that time, right?
No, but that
1965
don't
and
mean
1980.
no, Dulcinea. You always do that. Group everything together and everybody together. Stop
That is
that.
what Generation
Because
X is.
no,
I'm
no,
so
because
Dustin.
no,
They
because
always
back in
trying
the
to say that
80s,
we are the
I'm gonna tell
same
you
day
now.
now, and it's not. If I could tell you so many things that are different now than it was back then, it just wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Exactly.
and the reason, let me make sure I go back to this just for a minute. I don't want to feel the same way that I do in a dress than I do with pants on because I can't do the same things. See, people say clothes don't make them, but it do. If I got a suit on and my heels and stuff, I'm I'm not gonna go out here probably. I'm gonna be more, I guess more like you said, more feminine, more dainty. Right. And then when I got a pair of pants and some sneakers on, it's just a
So you
different.
went back to the clothes, Freedom Bay?
I did that. Let me do what I'm doing.
Really?
I'm not gonna say nothing
But
to what you
Gemini is trying to make you a boomer when you're not.
I'm
She's
not.
No,
Whatever.
that's not
Oh
even.
not
my
a
I
God.
boomer.
no,
I'm
Dulcinea. You gotta understand. All black people
Gemini, can
wasn't the
I finish what
same.
I'm saying, please? I
Why
went back
is
to
you
the story.
I get
screaming?
the generation of the same. Like you
Wasn't.
growing up through the 90s, you was outside in the 90s, but you weren't like a 90s person. You'd be more of an 80s person. So I get what you're saying, that it's not
Wow.
all the same based on decades, but Sister
But
Freedom
she would
still
have been young
Generation
then.
X. Y'all are
She
But
would
still
have been.
Freaknik
Generation
wasn't
X.
in the 80s though, Dulcinea. That's what I'm trying to
She
get you
was
to
in the
understand.
80s. Yes, she was. She was
Freakniks,
just
no,
20s.
freak, no,
She was
no.
just
I
in her
said
late 20s.
Freaknik,
And
not
what?
freedom.
Freak Neek.
Oh yeah,
No,
she
Freak
she's
Neek
wasn't
saying
at
was
the
in
freak
the
Nick
Freaknik.
no
80s.
No,
No, I was
she wasn't at the
in the
Freaknik.
80s.
But
My
her friends
daughter
were
was
at the
born
Freaknik.
Y'all
9 6
crazy.
84. I was
OTK, you started this.
16.
Okay.
Hey, y'all
You
Oh
throwing
went into
yeah,
a
shade.
see,
whole dissertation
1984.
about
She was
freak Nick.
16. Stop
I
it.
was
Stop
16
it.
That's
in
your
the
fault, OTK.
80s.
You know
Hey,
what you was doing.
y'all throwing shade
Exactly.
all
That's why
over
I
the
was just
place,
going.
man.
So stop
I
it.
swear
Stop
to
making it
God.
I
seem
mean
like she was
81.
all old in the
81 and
80s.
8.
She was
I
the
was
one
I
that
was
she was
8
the
in the
one living
84. I was
outside in the
19.
80s. She
Hold
was
I
the
on,
we
one
hold
with
on,
blame
the
you.
with all of
hold
that
We
on.
in the
blame you,
80s.
OTK. You the one
Hey,
who wants to do a whole dissertation on freak
But
Nick.
I'm
That's your
still
fault.
saying, yo, I mean, for anybody, I lived where the boardwalk was with the beaches and all that. I still don't remember
stop
no
you
freaky stuff.
crazy.
Exactly. No, no, no. And Freedom is making the point that I'm trying to get Dulcinea to see. Every black person
Alright.
back in the 80s and 90s was not in the same, especially back then, it was grouped. You had certain
Right.
black people that wouldn't have ever went to a Freaknik. You got them messed
Me,
up. That
never,
was not
never.
they
Right.
they was not thinking about that, baby. And that was for a certain crowd and a certain, if you was into
Right.
that type of thing, that's where
true.
you went. So that's what I'm
Right.
saying about
And every black
grouping.
girl
You
today is
can't
not
group.
Megan Thee Stallion, so it's the same thing though. But when we're talking about a
No,
generational
that's not what I'm
thing,
saying. You
Today
we're
saying
talking
is
about
a
sometimes
different
generational
thing
thing. It's
yesterday.
just about the generation. It's not about who didn't do it and who doesn't do it or anything like that. When you talk
no, it
about this
wasn't about the
generation
generation. The
and
Hey, but hold on,
generation
being
hold
is
on, hold on,
lazy
black.
hold on, hold
dudes
on,
or
hold on, real
showing
quick.
their ass
Hey,
or
hey,
anything
Gemini,
like
hold on,
that,
real quick.
you
Hey,
have to talk
Dulcinea.
about the generation that was in
Right.
Freaknik
Okay.
too.
Hey,
You can't
Dulcinea,
No,
separate
hold
that.
on, hold
Freakniks
on.
was the
I'm
90s.
Hey, hold on, Gemini. Dulcinea, I'm glad you brought that up. You brought up Megan Thee Stallion, and then you brought up a generational thing. Now, when you're talking about Megan Thee Stallion, you're talking about an icon. It is a
All the
Mhm.
generational
type of
thing
women.
with
You would
her.
never see that in my
Hold on,
time.
hold on, hold
Never.
on, hold on, Sister Freedom. It's a generational thing with her trend.
No,
With
it's
Yes.
not. No, it's not.
hold
There's
on,
girls that do
hold
it and
on.
there's girls that don't do it. Just like
Whoa,
Freaknik. There are
hold up,
girls
hold
that
up.
do it
But
and
the
there's
thing is,
girls that
hold on,
don't do it.
Dulcinea, let me finish real quick, please, please. The reason why I say that because it's her, and then you can't forget about
Cardi
Cardi
B.
B, Cardi B, and you can't forget about the baby
All the
doll,
nasty.
the
All
Black
they all
Barbie.
nasty.
So all of them
Mimi, where
have
you
their
at?
own.
Hold up.
All of them have their own little slot. And yes, they are generational
You know
because I
what?
saw my daughter go through these generations.
Hold up.
It's not
Listen,
No, wait,
generational
hold
though,
up.
because then you got to bring up Little
man,
Kim. Then you got to
Dulcinea.
bring up the other
listen,
girls.
even
Not
the little
not
kids,
just
even the little
what's the
kids
other
are
Nothing like
singing.
these girls.
Trina.
Nothing
Yes,
like
they
them.
are. They're the ones that
No, they
started these
weren't.
girls. Yes, they were. Little Kim
Listen,
was 16 when she had her bra and panties and the coat on, the fur
You
coat
know
on.
who?
She was
I can't
16
believe y'all
when
talking
she
about
did that.
icons. Y'all know who y'all
And
forgot
that
to
is an
mention?
icon. And yes, girls
Wait,
did
hold up,
that.
hold
Bring
up.
your
Hold
little
up.
I
kids out.
apologize.
And if
I
they
apologize
OTK.
if I missed
OTK.
somebody.
OTK.
I apologize
OTK.
if I missed
You
somebody.
said, hold on, OTK. This is important now because you mentioned icon. I cannot believe that y'all talking about icon.
No, I was just throwing out
And
an
hold on,
example.
OTK. OTK, pause. I can't believe we talking about icons and we have totally forgot that we got an icon that we got to sort of like mention right now, right here, right now. Talking about Freaknik, talking about the South. We got somebody who's big, bad in the South. Okay, we got somebody whose birthday is today. She's an icon. She's part of this group. She in a chat, Miss Nisha.
Facts.
I
Happy
don't know why
birthday,
she down there
Nisha.
today. My
Go
sister's birthday too.
Her
Ooh,
birthday. We got a lot of Scorpios.
This ain't about your sister. This about
Okay,
Nisha.
we
No,
got a lot
I was just
of Scorpios
mentioning that.
and we got an
Yeah, it is.
icon
Will
whose
always be about
birthday
my
is
sister.
today, y'all.
But I'm
who
just
birthday
saying her
today?
birthday today too.
Nisha
I'm about to
birthday.
get
Nisha birthday is
disrespectful.
today,
Oh
y'all.
shit, that's my
Happy
Nisha
cousin.
birthday is
Nisha.
today.
Yeah, that's my
Nene,
family.
where you at?
Okay,
Happy
we gotta do
birthday,
a song or
Nisha.
something for her. We come on.
Yeah,
Man,
Miss Nicole, Little Kim was when she did that album cover. She was
Happy
16 when she
birthday,
did that
Nisha
album
boo.
cover.
Happy
And
birthday.
who's the other one than Little Kim? There's another one.
Foxy Brown.
Foxy
Foxy
Brown,
Brown,
all of them.
exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Foxy
So
Brown.
these
And
girls
what's
are
the one
just
name come out
following
of
their
Philly?
lead.
When did
They're
they
just
come out?
this generation's Foxy
No,
Brown.
they
They're
didn't
just
follow
this
no lead.
generation's
Girls
They
today is
created.
Yes, they
nasty.
are. They're following that
They
exact
are
lead. They
nothing like
did.
No,
little
they create.
girls. There's
Yes,
no
they are.
Hey,
They did the
hold
exact
on,
same thing Little Kim did.
Dulcinea.
No, there's no
They
comparison.
created that. They created
No,
that.
they
Their own
didn't.
image. Well, who did
They
it before Lil
took it
Kim?
to a different
Please
level.
tell me.
Biggie
Please, hold on.
created that image.
Hold on. No,
Biggie created that image.
No.
Yes,
Dulcinea,
he
stop it.
did. Yes,
Stop
he
it. I don't
did.
give a damn about no ghostwriter, about who write the lyrics.
I'm
I'm
not
talking
talking
about
about a ghostwriter. I'm
Dulcinea.
talking about the fact
Hold
that
on.
you asked who
Dulcinea.
created it. Hold on, OTK.
Dulcinea,
You asked
hold
who
on.
created it,
But
and I'm
she
not
went
talking
out
about
there
him
and
being a
performed it.
ghostwriter. I'm
Listen.
talking about the fact, and I can bring up people
Oh
before
my
him,
God.
but I'm
Okay,
talking about the
Dulcinea.
fact that
See,
he brought up that sexuality needed to be used in rap for women. He was like, y'all don't need to be out here acting and rapping like men. Y'all are women. So
all
as
right.
women, y'all need to show how sexy you are. And that is the
Okay,
blueprint
okay.
that all these girls are
Okay,
going.
well, Roxanne Shante was boasting her sexiness in her raps. So go back and check it. Roxanne
Well,
Shante
except for
was
all of them.
boasting her
She was
sexiness.
not like Little Kim.
But
She wasn't.
she was not
Roxanne is not
selling
like
it.
Little Kim.
Hold
Roxanne is
on.
not like Little
Dulcinea,
Kim.
damn. Dulcinea, are you gonna talk or you gonna let me answer, please? She was not showing her
Right.
sexiness on screen like Little Kim. That's the difference. They all was talking sexy shit. Even MC Light, all of them was talking sexy shit, but they just wasn't selling that sex appeal. Now that's what Little Kim did. Whether Biggie told her to do it or not, she still had to have enough courage to do it and rock with it and live with it. So that's why I say that. Yeah, Biggie might have been writing her goddamn lyrics, but it still take that person nerve to go out there and perform it. You see what I'm
Well,
saying? So I
you
got to
see
give
what
my
Mr.
credit
Cole
to her
said.
about
But no
that.
one's talking about whether
You know what I
she's
mean?
talented or not. The point is that you're acting like Megan Thee Stallion is a new thing. Cardi B is a new thing, and it's not. It's
I
not a
didn't
It
new
never
is.
say
thing.
It
that.
is.
It's
It
not a
is.
new generational thing that's
Oh,
coming
Yes,
with this
it
generation.
is.
They're following the generations before them, and this
No,
is
they're
okay.
something
not.
I
that's
was just
always
giving
been
you
established.
Dulcinea.
Yes, it
Dulcinea, hold on.
is.
Hold on. Let me clarify myself. Dulcinea, I was just giving you new age examples now. I didn't want to go all the way back to Lil Kim because not everybody know who Lil Kim is. So
I
I was
went
just
to
using.
Little Kim. It wasn't
Hold up,
about
though.
you
I
though.
do, Dulcinea. Damn, I do too, sister. But I was just giving you new age examples just so we could move the conversation and keep it going. I know who the frontier and the founders are. I'm a 70s baby girl. I rap. Of course I know who the founders of that
It's
is.
not about who the
I didn't mean
founders
to leave them
are.
out.
It was about, it was said as far as something that happened in one generation that didn't happen in the other, which is not true. These
So was Lil
generational
Kim,
things
Okay,
have
but we're
been
not
so
happening.
gonna
was Lil
agree. We're
Kim
not gonna agree,
movement,
y'all. We're not
so
gonna
was
agree.
Lil Kim movement not generational? Yes or no?
That's my point. That was
Okay
only
then.
my only point, OTK.
So Megan Thee Stallion them falls up underneath that category.
That's my
No way
point.
possible.
That's my
So I
point.
use
That
Megan
this
Thee
isn't a
Stallion
new
because I'm using
generational
my
thing.
daughter.
That was
I'm
my
using my
point.
daughter for an example, so
He
that's
just
why I'm
used
using
an
Megan
example.
example.
Yes.
And
I
that
can't
was
use Little
my
Kim
point. I'm the
for
one
my
that brought up
daughter.
OTK. I'm the one that brought up Megan Thee Stallion first. We can rewind the tape.
Nasty.
I'm the one that brought her up. And I'm saying it as
All
a
right,
part
okay,
of the
Dulcinea.
conversation of what people wear, saying that this generation is
I
more
didn't say nothing
bougie or
about no
anything like that.
none of that.
OTK, it's not about you saying it. It wasn't
Jay,
about
where
me
you at,
saying it.
Jay?
It wasn't
Come
to
on, man.
addressing to you. It was
I'm
about the
right here,
conversation.
but I'm
Come on,
sorry.
ask the
I'm
question,
saying as
Jay.
far
Come
as
on.
generational,
Nah, because
saying that one
my answer is
generation
gonna
is
be
one
on
thing,
topic. We're not on
all the
topic.
other
So.
That's what we're
generations
trying to
did
get
it
back
too.
to, Jay. Come
I'm
on.
trying to because there's no comparison unless we're comparing them with the
Come on, Jay.
boys.
Moderate.
It's the same amongst the boys and the girls.
It's not. And I'm saying I come from the era of looking at Little Kim, Foxy Brown, and all of them. They had sex appeal, but completely different than these things today. I mean, they had sex appeal, but it's completely them, and they don't even say the same things that these women say today. It's just a different. I'm not going to compare them with them. It's just a big comparison. Now, maybe throughout evolving time, they done got just as nasty as the girls are today. But I'm sorry, they was not. Even when they came out, they had some type of sexy classiness about themselves. They just raw and with it today. It's just come
And
do
that,
it to me.
yeah.
That's it. It's
Word.
That's not true because Little Kim, that's someone that doesn't know Little Kim's lyrics, obviously,
No,
because the
I
same
don't know what
lyrics
but
that
I know
happened
she.
back then and that were
Right.
happening now. It's no different.
Oh, it is
Yeah,
too.
Lil
If
Kim
I
was
bring up
very
Oochie
bogus.
Wally Wally, those lyrics are worse than WAP.
When
Those
did that
lyrics
come out?
go down worse than WAP. WAP is like a kitty. Oochie Wally Wally, and that comes from
Could it
Foxy
be?
Brown or anything. They used to talk about how wet their cat was, what you gonna do to their cat, how you gonna lick it, and all of that. You may have listened to the clean
Well, can you
version. I
send
can
it
see
to
you
me,
doing that,
please?
Sister Freedom. I didn't listen to the clean version.
I what the business say you can send me online? I am such a prude. That's okay. But go ahead. What you say I did? But that's a name. That's not what you say I did. I didn't hear it. It went over top of my head.
Oh my
love you.
gosh.
I love
Okay,
you.
Jay, what
Say
was
I
the
did,
question?
I listened to the clean version.
You listen to the radio version of them songs, talking about, oh, I
I sure
like this. My
did.
mama used to do that too.
Oh, hey, Brother Live.
I
What you
like
have to
this.
say?
Peace,
What's
Brother
up?
Love.
Peace
Because
to
Brother
the
Live
Hey,
straight
room.
Brother
from New
La.
York, so he knows.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Walaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Peace, brother. Peace, brother.
Y'all really on here talking about cootie cat. I'm just trying to figure out.
I wasn't, brother.
Sister Freedom,
No,
have
I
you ever heard
never heard
Mother
nothing like that.
Hey, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. He's
No,
stupid.
I don't know nothing about that kind of stuff. I wasn't allowed to listen to that kind of stuff. I'm approved to that and proud of it.
Stop it.
Did you say stop?
Yeah, I did. Stop.
Why?
It.
Why?
No. You're not no prude. Stop saying that.
Okay.
Sister Friend.
Somebody got
Lies. You gotta speak up a little bit. Hard to hear you. And there's an echo.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
You got some extra.
You may need your headphones on because remember, if it's an Android, then
I think it's
StreamYard is
well,
messing
my
up.
phone is Android. My phone is, well, I'm not on it. What am I talking about? No, I'm saying that he might have had his YouTube page still open.
I ain't hear nobody talk about the damn topic.
But let's
yet.
get back
But I have to even say, to even trigger y'all more, is that the boomer generation was actually the good generation that wasn't talking about that. It's Gen X that actually corrupted all of us millennials, and we were
I'm a
good. We would have
boomer.
been good if y'all didn't corrupt us, because y'all had songs like
Kimmy,
"Slob
you
on My Knob."
That's
Y'all
true.
had songs like
That's true.
like,
That's true,
y'all
Dulcinea,
was the
but
ones
y'all were so
that
weak
did it
though.
first. Y'all taught us how to do it.
Happy birthday, Nisha. Happy birthday, Nisha.
at?
Happy birthday, Nisha.
Nisha, why you know I think she's still on her way home.
Happy birthday,
Oh my gosh.
Nisha.
Are you
Nisha,
serious right now?
Happy
Oh my
birthday.
God.
Policy, can we get back to the subject,
Ooh,
please?
April
Okay,
had
wait
that
a minute.
song.
Y'all been
Yeah,
talking about.
can I get in? Can I
Okay,
get
go
in,
ahead and
Yeah,
get
go
in.
ahead, Jay.
please? I hate to be the one that gets everyone back on track. I don't want to ruin the fun though.
Yeah,
But
for real.
I'm sorry, but I'm just kicking back listening. But I heard y'all talk a lot about how the women have changed, right? How the women have supposedly become more masculine. Dulcinea's pushing back, saying, no, it's not true. Or how the women became more freaky. Dulcinea's like, no, it's not true. But what about the guy side? We didn't really talk about the guys. How have the guys changed? Because the premise was, or the proposition was, that guys now are more feminine. How are guys more feminine now from the female perspective, from y'all perspective as women? What do y'all see of men when y'all was growing up compared to the young men now, or the men now, that's so feminine in comparison?
Ooh, who going first on that one?
Are we gonna keep the same order?
Yes.
Yeah, same
Or I
order.
want to reverse it. We could reverse it.
No,
It
go
don't
ahead.
matter. It don't matter. I'm
Consistent.
just waiting to hear.
No, you go, Dots, first, and let's go in order.
Okay, so Jay, just to be clear, repeat your question.
Yeah, so we really doing like a comparison, right? On one end, it was that women have become more masculine, right, in certain roles, and maybe the way things are being delivered in speech and expression. Now I want to hear about the flip side. I heard that some people said guys have become more feminine. So I want you all to express, if you agree, how guys have become more feminine from one generation to the next.
Okay. Do y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I think there's many ways I could answer that, right? Like how many, okay, so I feel like, so I was born in the 70s, right? The late 70s. I'm 45 now. So, and to be honest, growing up, it was more women in my family. I didn't come from a two-family household, to be quite honest, right? So it was a woman-dominated household. And so my grandfather had passed away much, much earlier on. So to Gemini's point about, and I'm looking at this from a black woman's perspective living in America, okay? I want to just be very clear about that. I'm not including others. So I know when growing up, in terms of masculinity or manhood, even though my grandmother and then my mom, my aunties, right, where they had to do both roles, right? Literally, there was still, I feel like there was still a structure there. There was still like an expectation of what masculinity in manhood is or should look like. So even though, let's say, I didn't have my father in the household with me, I still had uncles. I still had uncles that may not have been blood related, but they were allowed to discipline me if I was out of order, in the same way that my grandmother friends and my mom's friends were able to discipline me or discipline any of us when we were out of order. If that does that make sense, y'all? So like, even though I didn't have my dad in the household with me raising me every single day, I still had I feel like there was still a structure in place. There was still clear language around gender roles, right? There was still clear
But how
I
does
guess
that make them feminine?
expectations, yeah, like over what man a man should be and what a man's role is, right? And actually, because of the help, the lack of help, right? Because my dad wasn't in the household, my grandfather wasn't in the household, truthfully, it would make any woman angry that she had to take on both roles, right? And that wasn't a choice thing, but she had to take on both roles. So it actually made the conversation more of a daily thing, right? More so out of anger and frustration, right? Like, men are supposed to do this, or a man should be able to do that. Da, 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 da. So whereas today, I feel like that structure or that foundation has been totally dismantled, totally dismantled, right? Because the idea, or at least how I see it, this the idea of what a black family is has changed also, right? Um, that I'm saying my point of
Mhm.
view, right?
Mhm.
From then to now. So that's how I see it, right? In terms of being more feminine. And not only that, I feel like, and let's be clear, I don't think any woman would choose to take on, right, the responsibility of both. It comes out of a necessity. It comes, right? So I've
Mhm.
always said, like, I would love for men to stand in their rightful place, right? If we're talking about and I know we're talking in a construct, okay? So this goes to Marcus. I know you had asked that a few times. I know we're talking about social construct, but listen, especially with Black women, we've had to be on the front line for many reasons, right? We don't want to. We never wanted to, but we have to. Because when you're not there, what else can we do? Right? So that quote unquote hardness or that strength, um, or however that is perceived to be, like when Freedom was saying, just by her personality, she's very strong-willed, and some people can see that as being masculine versus being feminine, but also understanding that historically that has been put on our shoulders. We never asked for that. So sometimes I feel like, on the one hand, it's like, yo, put some respect on our name, because
Right.
we never asked for it, right? But here we are. So
Oh,
that's how I'll frame my answer. And I'll
I
land
want
it.
to say one thing, and I'm gonna fall all the way back,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
and I'm gonna let y'all do your thing. But I want y'all to correct me if I'm wrong too. By the way, because I was telling you about the conversation I had with my homegirl after we did the show yesterday, and I was talking to her about how it seems like an entire genre of music has disappeared, right? So I was saying I think men have become hyper masculine to the point where everything is about aggression. You don't even hear or see guys doing things that are considered chivalrous anymore. An entire genre like R&B kind of doesn't exist anymore. There's no more
Exactly.
love songs or anything like that. And I was kind of taking a position that that's a man tapping into his feminine side. But she told me, my friend told me, she said, no, that's actually masculine for a man to sing for a woman or sing to a woman and buy her roses and things like that. But I was kind of thinking that's him kind of tapping into a softer side. But I want to know y'all thoughts, because I'm saying both sides have gotten hyper masculine or more masculine. I
And
don't
my
really.
last point, and then I'm gonna shut up. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
Jay. My last point to that, real quickly, I just remember something, is that But also now, here's my piece too, right? In terms of ownership and accountability, being a woman and being a mom. I think also because of that lack of presence, I think one of the causes why we see that hyper masculine or the aggression or the over feminine, too many men being over feminine. I think one of the causes we got to be careful is because of that lack of presence. Oftentimes, I've seen this happen a lot, even with my friends, where we'll daddy our sons. Our sons are not our father. Our sons are not my husband. My son is not my husband. He's not my daddy, right? And so what'll happen is you'll have a mom raising her son, and will over baby or will put them in a position as if they're our husband. You don't run nothing in this home. You earn that. You got to earn that respect. You got to earn that title. You want to be a leader? You got to earn that shit. Not just because you was born with a penis.
Can you make me last? Because I got to run upstairs. Dulcinea, please. Plus I'm waiting for somebody to answer the question. But
that's fine.
Me last, please.
I answered the question, Freedom. Go ahead, Jimmy.
I wish they would one time answer the damn question. Taking on my nerves with
I love y'all, man. Y'all retarded, man.
You know, when Sister Freedom, you gotta answer it like her, but then when she ain't answering,
no, you don't. I'm not even talking to you because you got a smart thing out.
Oh, well, then I said it. I said it.
No, leave me alone.
It's like she thinks the mind you can.
I'm just saying, answer the question. I don't even. It's Gemini's turn. All I'm saying is make me last. Gemini, go ahead and do your thing.
I made you last already. Go ahead and answer, Gemini.
Nisha.
Out the brain and what clothes you wearing? You didn't answer the question.
Dulcinea,
Nasty,
I don't care what clothes you wearing. Since you saying that, I can hear your little smart remarks. I just went going upstairs.
Is there still an echo on my end, y'all?
No.
No.
There's no echo.
You sound
better now.
You sound
right.
Yeah, a lot better.
All right. Nisha, happy birthday, Queen.
Yeah, happy solar return.
Right,
Come on,
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Welcome, Queen.
Did you get to go to Freaknik for your birthday, Nisha?
Oh my God. Freaknik don't exist no more.
Answer the question, Gemini, so Dulcinea can stop talking about this Freaknik she want to go to.
They're not saying that. They don't do that no more.
That's
what
I'm
saying.
Gemini, you remember the question? Gemini, you got it.
Yeah,
I forget about Magic. Y'all forget about Magic City Classic, the foot wash.
We ain't forget. They forgot.
What's that, lie?
Magic City Classic is one of all the black colleges come down to Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, okay,
Publicist?
Okay. No, Black City. I mean, not Black City. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Magic City Classic, but the P Valley girls come out too. Gemini, all the P Valley girls are there.
Yeah, we got a college. We got a state. We got South Carolina State Classic like that. You know, South Carolina State is an all black college, so we got that classic like that here. South Carolina State homecoming. Oh, that should be pumping out there. Boy.
They also have an annual thing that goes on in Alabama called a foot wash. But what they do with that is on an old slave plantation, and the police can't go up on the land. So everything under the sun go on right on that land.
So is that a slave plantation or an Indian plantation?
The old slave plantation.
Why they can't go on the slave plantation?
I don't know how it works. I went one time in my life, and the stuff that I seen on there.
Brother Law, did you used to wear? Leather pants when you were younger?
Law. What else you know about? You know about Freaknik Classic. What else, Law? We listening.
He said the stuff he seen on that plantation.
Gemini, you waiting to answer the question, baby?
Did you wear them Daisy Dukes too, Brother Law?
Watch your mouth, Dulcinea.
I always talk about the basketball.
Watch your
You're
mouth,
doing too
Dulcinea.
much.
Watch your mouth.
You're doing too
Watch your
much with your
mouth.
mouth. You're doing too much
I
with
Yeah.
your
want.
mouth.
No,
I
they used to have nice legs in those Daisy Dukes. Y'all remember Reggie Miller and stuff? Have his legs
I
show.
want to hear about the
Dulcinea,
plantation.
You talking
I
about
mean this respectfully.
you talking about
Hey,
the
those
basketball
nails.
shorts that used to be hiked all up the
Yeah,
globe trotters butt.
those was not those. Those
I'm
was
just
called
messing.
the
They was
athletes.
Forgive
skinny.
my junior, brother Law.
Yeah,
Forgive
the
me.
athletes we used to call them shorts nuts cutters, coochie
I
cutters.
I want
Yeah.
to hear about that
Oh no, we
plantation.
Nut
hate those.
huggers. They was called nut
Yeah, nut
huggers.
huggers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, we hate that. That's why we really start
Them
sagging.
guys were looking nice in those. Though. Imagine if LeBron was wearing those. He got some nice little calves to show off.
You
Anyway,
speak as
Guys, we're
personal
not on
right
the
now.
conversation. Gemini, go
Dulcinea, where's
ahead.
JB at?
Answer.
JB by you?
I don't know why they won't let Gemini
Come on,
answer the
y'all.
question.
Let
They is
her
all
answer.
over the place.
Y'all
Where
I
just
ain't
is
even
going
the
off
topic
topic.
again? I don't
Don't
Who's
Gemini,
understand.
that?
are you gonna answer my brother Jay question?
I
Because
even forgot what the question was.
Dulcinea going on legs and all kind of shit. Nobody wanna hear nothing about no
Uh-oh.
Dennis Rodman legs
I
and all
tried to
these
keep it
crazy
on
ones.
topic,
That-
y'all. I'm trying. I'm trying.
That's
Damn.
why I told her just. That's why I told Dulcinea, be chill, be still.
Word. Damn. The day's
Ooh,
Sunday,
y'all.
I'm
not
sorry.
Friday.
I made y'all picture it. I'm sorry.
No, you ain't made me picture nothing. I used to play ball, so I used to
See
play
how
ball.
she
I had to
do?
wear them shit.
Oh my
I
God,
came at the
y'all.
end of that though. I came at
Well,
the
can
end of
It's,
that
Gemini
shit.
answer the question,
I know. I
please?
don't understand.
I mean, can you try to answer the question,
Yes.
Gemini,
Yes, I
please?
absolutely can.
If you
So
can
what I was
remember
gonna
what it was.
yeah, he asked that where the men more have the role reversal or the men more feminine these days. But for a man, you know what? It's straddling the fence because I can just always just use my own kids for an example. So my 21-year-old is a different type of boy than my 28-year-old. So my 28-year-old born in 95 still had that respect in him just naturally opened up doors and helped people out and uh help cut the neighbor's lawn if open up doors and stuff like that. And then my 21-year-old is not so much like that. He's super spoiled and entitled. And then my 16-year-old was even worse. Right? So it's like I think the more that as parents, the more we give, we have like we gave without conditions. And I think that when we sit and say love is unconditional, no, it should come with some conditions and some boundaries and some rules. And it should come with a whole lot of things because somewhere along the line, we have definitely dropped the ball into teaching our boys how to be men. And when you don't have a father, a proper father, and I'm going to use that term proper father, not just any kind of father, because you have a father in the home does not mean he's a proper man. But when you have a proper father in the home, you are blessed. You are somebody who thank the Lord that you still have men to show a young man how to become a man because we are losing that. The same way what it is with some of the older women, right? Some of the older women are stay in competition with these younger women. For what reason? I don't understand that, but they do. It exists. Right now, I think I have more older women girlfriends who are dating younger men than I have older women girlfriends who are dating men their own age. So every time you date a younger man, not to say that that's wrong, but then I have a younger daughter who would like that younger man. You see what I'm saying? So there's always this weird type of dynamic that we continually have when we don't have good examples, when we don't have proper examples. And I think we've loved our kids to the point of they ass is rotten, no good. We gotta completely rely on a whole different generation and not them. I think we're gonna skip their ass because they're gonna have to learn the hard way. Those are the ones who don't believe in what they call elder worshiping. You got to respect your elder because your elder's a certain age. You damn right you got to respect that elder just because of age alone. And when you get there to that age, you'll see what the big deal is about. Young people dying off like crazy. You would be thankful to think you could reach 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. You'll be thankful. So yeah, you got to put some respect on somebody with who has a little bit of age, whether they're saying the right things or wrong things, right? Just not for you to be so young and then try to prove a point to your elder that you, ooh, see, I know more than you. Times are different. Yes, you do know more. But what kind of ass does that make you if you go around trying to showboat somebody a little bit older just because you think that you're right about some shit? That's crazy to me. So at some point, yes, the boys didn't necessarily become feminine, but but their integrity was compromised. Something about that male integrity was compromised because we as parents, gave them things without making them work for it, like we used to do back in the day. Yeah, you have to do all that hard ass work for five little lousy dollars, not 50. We go around giving kids $50 to rake the leaves. Who does that? So a lot, we have to change all that. We really do. Got to start somewhere. Maybe not with this generation, but maybe with the generation after.
Well,
Gemini just came through and sprayed the block. She spit the block.
I'm just saying.
I'll take the Benz, you take the caddy. I'll take the son, you take the daddy. That's what I'll say. Listen.
Everything Gemini just said was 100% fact.
I'm just
OTK
going.
is a fool, man. OTK is a fool, boy. I
I
tell you.
can't help it, man. This is a key to all this shit. My bad.
Listen,
Shit.
I'm just saying, what because I'm gonna rock with you, Gemini, because that's the truth. Furthermore, it's not just the parents as women. I'm gonna say that we as female are we're
We're
also.
also.
Ooh, he got that car. We as female, we're also we're quick to help to help out and want to pitch in, and we want to allow men to be men, right? So we want to help and do our, not just want to say do our share, do our part, or we want to allow men to want to be men sometimes, and so we want to help. We always want to try to fix it, and sometimes we allow them to lay back instead of trying to figure it out. We figure it out for them, and that allows them to lay back, and then you become part of Plan B. Plan B is you, and find out that you become Plan A, and you thinking he got Plan B figured out. No, you are Plan A, and that's become Plan B. It's already figured out. And then you want to challenge that and become the bigger problem. Instead of letting that problem figure it out, you trying to figure it out. And then when you say, well, what's wrong? What's wrong? And then he ain't trying to tell you. And then you trying to be mad because ain't nobody trying to tell you what's wrong. And then you making the argument bigger than what it is instead of waiting for somebody to tell you what's wrong. Now you mad because you can't fix it instead of allowing it to happen. So sometimes we do these things to ourselves. You have to let him be him. And these are the things that we do sometimes, and vice versa. So does that make him less of a man, or does that make him a weaker of a man because you're trying to assess him as a man? Because you trying to what? Mold him to be what? You're not a man. He's already made. And vice versa. He can't do that for you either. You're already made. So these are the things that we have to look at too. when we just trying to figure out or think we figuring out how to fix something that's not broken.
Sorry, I'm lost. What are we actually talking about? I'm not actually
We're talking
tracking.
about how
Who
we're talking
the
about
heck?
how
What the heck?
Oh
that's
well, he's asking the question as far as it, and the
we're
question
talking
was, in
about
what ways are men feminine these days? If we call them feminine, because Jay, based on the music and different things, aspects to men, he sees it as more of a hyper masculinity, like losing aspects of their femininity. So we're saying if we view it as that, or if we view men as feminine, and if we view men as feminine, how are they feminine today?
Well, I think it's easy
Wait,
for
it's
me.
not your turn though.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm
we're
about to say, how
conversation,
the
but I
fuck you
confused
just
you.
cut in
Sorry.
like that?
So
That's the
it
manual.
is
Yo,
in order,
OTK,
and it
that's
is
the
in the
manual.
order that everybody's going to answer. So right now, Sakina's finishing up
Oh,
answering that question, and then Nisha is next, and then it's going to go by row.
Yeah, that's the Calvinist, Emmanuel.
oh, that's my brother, my Calvinist brother. Okay, that's a
okay.
okay. Okay.
Okay, well, so that was my answer. That was my answer.
Okay, Nisha.
Oh, I do believe.
OTK, come on, bro, mute up.
I do believe that men today is on a downward spiral of keeping up with their masculinity, their manhood. Because when I was growing up, you, I saw like I had two good men in my life, so no daddy issues here. But just looking at the men then and looking at them now, especially anybody that's younger than me, I mean, it's sad. It's really sad how weak minded, how ignorant to a lot of things. And I know y'all spoke on changing tires. Even though how small it might seem, that's really a big deal. I know that we all have roadside service and all of this and all of that, but just to have a man, you know, y'all on the road trip, and just to have that man be able, knowledgeable to change that tire, to know what to do, that speaks volumes. And today, I don't see a lot of men with those qualities. Um, so I can't really say it's hyper masculine. I don't really see that. I think that's a cry out for something else. The hyper masculinity, that's an issue. That goes back to a mental health issue, or they could possibly have mama or daddy issues. Um, but just to see the condition of a lot of men, even how they argue now versus before, it's just a big difference. So um, yeah, these the generation after me, that's a little sad for me. That's just how I look at it. I'm done.
Yeah, and I have to agree in some of the things and a lot what Nisha was saying. Of course, they're the men that have problems changing the tire, checking the oil or anything like that. And I've seen women have to teach them those things. But it also goes into like how they deal with emotions. I would say, growing up in a two-parent home, it wasn't perfect, and being around a lot of men, they didn't always handle their emotions well, but I saw more emotional intelligence, I would say, in the past than now. I see men being overly emotional, like they'll gossip like women, a lot of ways they'll behave, and it will remind you like you're at the salon and women talking, and it will be a group of men. So it's like a difference there. As well as when it comes to the hyper masculinity, I don't see it as masculine at all. Like it's a facade to me. It's an act. Like, oh, I can't really fight like that, so I gotta shoot you because I can't fight. Or you're caring so much about women think that you're trying to showboat or make it to be like, I got this woman, I got that woman, all this other stuff, but you don't have those women genuinely. You don't have them because they like you. You feel like you have to pay for them or anything, which is another thing that I don't see as very masculine. So there's a lot of things now that the younger generation is doing. I would say that the generations before me, when I was looking at the men, they just weren't like, and that's where I view them more as feminine. Sister Freedom, did you come back?
Yes. Did
Okay.
the man get the opportunity to speak yet? That brother Law say what? Well, let me hurry up and do mine. It's 2 seconds.
Okay.
I think that men act more feminine than they did back, well, at least back in my times, because they didn't outwardly wear dresses like they do now. Half the damn men is wearing dresses. I mean, high heels, eyelashes, lipstick, all. I mean, that's what I see. And then, you know, a lot of these men can't let nothing go. I don't know who said what, because I was upstairs fixing me something, but they argue with these women like they women, like they girlfriends and stuff like that. That, you know, that's, to me, that's very unmasculine. Usually back in the day, men didn't even waste their time arguing with. They either leave or just shut you out, like you ain't even talking to them. But they're not gonna go back and forth with you. These men today, they argue with you like they're your girlfriend. I mean, you know, I don't know if society. That's why I say society everything starts in the mind. They tell you you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, and it makes them more like feminine. Like, it just makes them feminine. But the biggest thing is they wearing dresses and all that stuff today. So they straight up trying to be girls.
Okay, you sisters gotta say some, not all, because
Oh,
y'all
there's
Oh yeah,
define it.
we're
I'm
not talking
sorry.
about all, but
Uh,
the
Of course,
question
we're
was
not
is
talking
why
about
we
all.
see men more feminine today, and we're just giving the
Yeah, I
example
mean, they
where
saying
we
it's
see them more
okay.
feminine, but
Like,
it's
they'll
not
argue
that
with
there's no masculine men. We're
you.
not
I
saying
just
that at all. I just want to make it clear, no one's saying that there's no masculine men. So go ahead.
no way possible is anybody saying that. And also, I don't. It's very feminine when men say it's okay for certain things. Certain things I don't even want to bring up. But when men say this is 2023, if that person's like that, it's so. I don't. I mean, I don't know about all that. It makes them very, very feminine, whether it's okay or not. If you my man, I don't need you saying it. I don't need you saying what's okay and what's not okay. Because it's gonna make me think, well, why is that okay for you to say that's okay? That was So I'm just saying, of course, Brother Lyle, let me fix it, because of course I'm not in no way, shape, form, or fashion saying all men. It's like our brother OTK just straightened my behind out and said, look, I wear a pink shirt for whatever reason. Ain't nothing feminine about me. And we also conceded there's nothing feminine about him. But I just say some people can't handle that and some people can. All right, that's pretty much all I had to say. I know everybody else, you know, I don't know if y'all got y'all stuff out or not, but that's all I had to say. But I want to hear what the men got to say about it.
Is it good, Sister Freedom?
Well, I heard up when them says it made me a salad.
I hear it. I hear. I
It's
know.
crunchy because it's my the lettuce.
I know. I heard it when it hit your taste buds. It was like a
It ain't got nothing in it, just cucumbers, onions, green
You
peppers,
know, I'm
tomatoes.
just messing with you, Sister Freedom.
Yeah, I ain't getting none.
OTK,
Okay.
what do you think? Are men more feminine today or not? Or what do you think?
No, I don't think that they're more feminine today. I think that these kids these I can't even say kids. I think that the youth today have their own style that they created, because these ones who we think that look gay will be the main ones that'll kill you. They be the main ones, have all the money, doing this and doing that. You know what I mean? So looks are deceptive. And no, they just because they might the appearance might seem like this more non-masculine, but trust me, like Jay said, dog, the masculinity is through the roof with men and women today, because you got women out here just as boisterous as men out here now, and they like, yo, that's mine, and what you got, and you know, and I mean, we just got to say that it's the way that the world is today. It's our fault, because in our era, you know, the drug game took us out of the home. Um, you know, I can speak for my era, from where I'm from. The drug game took us out of the home. And then when we was able to come back and get back into society, Section 8 took us out, and housing took us back out of the home. So that's why I say these kids today, these youth today, they ain't no different than us. They just got more capability and more access to things that we didn't have.
Yeah, y'all could skip over me. We could hear from Brother Law and Emmanuel if they want
I
to
was
jump
just
in.
going to ask you that too, Brother La. You remember the question, right, Brother La? You're on mute right now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
I think it's more so systematically done with a purpose and reasoning. Whether it be demasculating men from the concept of foods, water, you have to take into consideration that the testosterone level now is way more lower than it once was back in the early 80s. And it's for a reason. It's a bigger picture at hand. That's all I'm going to say. It's a bigger picture at hand.
I agree. Right.
Emmanuel or Worst
Emmanuel or worse
Conversations?
conversations?
And if you could meet
And if
up.
you could meet up, brother.
My audio is really terrible. There's a lot of background noise, by the way. And
Everyone's
Speak up,
muted.
bro. Speak up, bro.
okay, and also my my audio is really terrible, and my English is also terrible. So OTK will probably help in translating what I actually say. So, uh, like I think is like relative. Uh, I mean, that's just like my perception because like OTK probably know that I'm Ethiopian. So you know, back in the days, what was considered masculine in Ethiopia was you have to cut off other man's dick. So what was considered is like if you want to propose for a woman, for example, in the western part of Ethiopia. I'm just using an example. So if you want to propose, you go out and you cut off other men's dick, and you're considered manly because you have cut off other people's dick. So
You cut off what?
nowadays, people actually. I'm sorry.
What did you say? You said you cut off what?
I think you
Yeah.
circumcised
Yeah.
another man, is what
Yeah.
he's
No,
saying.
you cut off like
No, the whole thing.
The whole thing. Oh, okay.
yeah.
So you
So this
mutilate
is
them.
like back in the times, really back in the time. So it was a form of masculinity
Castration.
in the sense that if you have cut off like 4 or 5 guys, you consider more and more masculine. So the more dicks you cut off, the more masculine you're considered. There are also other traditions that see, you know, being like this sort of like warrior or being a warlord, you're considered more masculine. So
Wait a minute. Did you say that you cut off what you cut off?
The other men's Private area, Sister Freedom. You cut off other men's private area to be seen more masculine. You castrate them, as OTK said.
Huh?
Wait,
Okay.
what?
You castrate other men.
No, I understand what he's saying. The castration. But I was asking about the
Hold on, brother Law.
So
Are you serious?
no,
Yeah, he's
I'm not
talking
saying they
about a
use that
time
line
period.
now,
He's
but
not
this
saying
is
right
what that
now. He's just giving the full view of what masculinity looked like in Western Ethiopia. That's
Okay, all right, all right.
17. Okay, y'all.
So what I would say is, like, for example, I used to think that masculinity was have to do with expressing emotions. So the more you express your feelings, the less masculine you are. In a sense of like, I remember I work at a like relatively a really sad area, like because I work at a retirement facility, so I see people dying every time, people, being harmed. And when I came from work one day, I was actually crying because of like the things that I've seen, and it was such a relief. And as men, we're not expected to actually, especially people of color, we're not seen as someone who actually have a certain emotions like sadness or whatever. So I think women have more space in that area, like that's one of the female privilege that I see, because like they could react, they could do, like, people are uh you understand what I'm saying, right? So but I think men are becoming more and more feminine, in a sense of like they they are expected to act as a female. So anything that is generally masculine, I think is considered as a threat to society, because like we haven't have like we have shifted the whole society from men being the protectors, and the one who actually goes out there and take a lot of risk. We have shifted from that society to a society where we want to make everything that is like equity. So I still think that we have to work more on that. So definitely, I think, and also I also want to point out that the way that you actually interact sexually could be considered feminine or masculine. So if you're actually a guy and who actually have like a sexual interaction with other men, is actually feminine. Like there's no doubt about it. So there are more men who actually practice that, or coming out as that, and in the public area. So I think men are becoming more masculine in that area. Because the way that we actually understand to be feminine or masculine is determined, especially with your sexuality. So I do agree that masculinity is dying, and it will die more, but in a sense of like it will decline, not like die. I'm sorry, but we have to consider that these are a changing terms. That's why I put up an example from like back in the day. We don't have to be like savages and fools to actually be considered masculine. There's still healthy sides of masculine. I talked a lot, so let me just shut up.
You're fine.
You're
You're
fine. You're
fine.
fine.
I mean, I don't have a problem.
I mean, you explained yourself. We heard you. We understood you.
You good, Emmanuel. That's our brother Emmanuel that be coming over there on the round table, man. He from Ethiopia, man. Good brother. He's a Calvinist, man, and he got great point of views too. Like we say over there on the round table, and like how y'all do, man. We don't knock nobody for what they is. Wipe that off at the door. Your opinion is what matters.
Facts. Facts.
Jay, did you want to
Jay,
end
did you
the
want to
talk
end the
now?
talk now?
Oh no, I'm
Oh
all
no, I'm
set,
all
man.
set.
Y'all keep going.
Okay, everybody
Okay,
mute up.
everybody mute up.
Everyone, you're good.
Everyone, you're good.
All right, you need me to mute off?
Yeah, we did. Go ahead.
You wanted me to go ahead or mute up?
Go ahead and speak.
I mean, I basically just wanted to say one thing. I mean, at this point in time, y'all going around the bush. If a man desire to have another man, he's a sodomite. Just call it for what it is. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't do none of the above. And as far as dressing like a woman as a man, that's not cool in any capacity, form, or fashion. My era that I grew up in, the things that I see around what these young brothers is doing now didn't exist in my era growing up. You have young brothers nowadays arguing, fussing, and fighting with each other. The first thing they do is invite a man to their manhood. The era that I come from, if you invite a man to your manhood, you'll see people around back up because they know two things are going to happen. Either them two men is going to engage in hand-to-hand combat or somebody about to die. It's just different. It's entirely different. And to isolate it, to characterize it as a man thing, no, I don't believe it's a gender thing with men. I mean, it's if you a chump, you a chump. It is what it is. I mean, I
I
digress from
agree.
that. Yeah, if you a chump, you just a chump. Ain't no sugarcoating it. It ain't no none of that. It is what it is.
You know what, brother Law? Let me jump in there right fast. If you mute up, because there's an echo. Okay, I sound better. There is anybody ever watched the Power universe? So that's with Force and Power and Raising Cain and um, Ghost. Anybody
Yeah,
ever seen?
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I watch him. Go ahead.
so in his last one, Force, um, the little boy um, was being abused by his biological father, and then the guy she was interested in was she realized he could fight and was like, okay, well, can you teach my son how to fight? So that man started spending time with that young man, and people, the other young men around the neighborhood started noticing that. So the one young boy came up to him and stepped up to him, and he was like, okay, I'm to show you what I got, right? And he beat the boy up. Well, the boy in turn pulled out a gun and shot him. And it's like in that moment, because she's so good with isolating uh and pointing out things that are so wrong with our community, even though it's TV and TV's just fiction, but it still speaks volumes when you have when young boys see you with a father and they don't have a father, even if it's a stepfather or a mentor. Sometimes they get jealous about that, wishing they had that very same thing. And then again, we're back to the we don't fight, we pull out guns, right? So his
Right,
pride was so hurt about just getting beat up, he pulled out a gun and ended a life, and he didn't realize it was going to end his too.
right. And on top of that, don't forget, let me add on to that story.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, before that even happened, she was like, yo, I know, talking to the mentor, she was like, I know who you are, and I'm gonna give you a chance to prove that you ain't who they say you are. And he said, yeah, I'm definitely changed. She was like, man, because I don't want that around my son.
Mm-hmm.
And come to find out, the stuff he was teaching them how to protect himself and teaching them how to protect himself got him killed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Because again,
So
it's the
that's the
strangest
major
thing.
kicker. That's the major kicker of that story. You know what I mean? And she blamed him off the jump. She blamed him for getting her son killed, but didn't even know the story yet.
Yeah, and she still don't know
But
the full story, but
right,
but it's a strange thing because we don't
it's a
know
strange thing.
sometimes what our kids are looking at. And those boys, were coming at him too, like, you think you better than us because you got this fake stepfather. We know that your real father beat you, and then you got him to save you, but he ain't gonna save you from this gun. So our mentalities, we really have to do a better job, with being examples in our communities, because we don't know what our kids are looking at. And you can be, your kids can come from a two-parent home, and you could think you could be doing the best. Meanwhile, your child think Nicki Minaj is the best. Yeah, you in there getting her clothes ready and getting her things ready, and this and that and the third, and she's still changing clothes on the way to school or even at school, figuring it out how to sit here and look like her favorite person. So we have to
I
be
don't
real careful about what type of examples that we set,
I
because
don't know about
kids
you, brother Live, but the
can
but
say
the
anything.
pastor daughter always was the worst.
Let me
The
say this
Christian
OT,
kids
too,
always was the
when you
worst.
get done, please. When you get done. But listen to this, Marcus. I
That's
want
a
to give
whole
him
fact,
props.
though, OT. That's a whole fact. That's a Snapple fact.
I love
The
listening. Was
the
from
women,
Okay,
the
bet.
women and the boys of pastors be the worst.
Mhm.
Facts.
Let me say this. Sister Freedom, can talk, and then it's Black Africa. Brother La, let me say something to what you were saying. I was looking over in the chat while y'all was talking, and Marcus was like, why are we protecting the women? See, stuff like that. And then indigenous black men said, women fight today, we need to protect each other. What the heck? I mean, women fight today, we need to protect each other. I don't even see why a man would say that. And I don't see why a man would say, what are we protecting the women from? Or like you no longer are find any reason for a man to protect a woman.
You said a
What?
man said that, sister?
I'll talk.
Marcus in the chat.
He
You can
said
pull up
women need, a
and
man
then
said that women need to protect women.
that's what
No,
indigenous
that we need to protect each other. And you guys, let Sister Freedom go, and then we will go back around. But it's gonna be dots after Sister Freedom.
Yo, we
The
got
I
a
was
brother
mad
said
echo,
how
y'all.
old are you?
when the question was, do you what is changed about men from then than it is now? And I'm saying never a man would say that back then in my time, that we shouldn't protect women. What are we protecting women for? Or women fight, we should just protect each other, like a woman should fight for a man and a man should fight for a woman. It's just, I guess that's what he was saying. Then he says plastic Barbie. See, I know it's not enough room for them to come up here and explain themselves, but when you say things like this, like why, what are we protecting a woman from? Why would a man say that?
I'll
Why would
fall off
why
the
should
I'll
that
fall off I'll fall off the panel so you can jump on. I'll get off.
I
no,
believe
you don't need to leave, but there's no need for you to leave. Because I can't even imagine what the answer would be. They can type it in. They typed it in that. They can type whatever the
Yeah,
answer.
well, he can. You know what it is, Freedom Bay. What it is that in their generation, they have not seen a worthy enough, in their opinion, a worthy enough woman, because women have became so equal to
there
men.
you
Women
go.
have changed a lot, and so the younger they are, the more they come from or subscribe to the point that, no, what are we protecting them for? I don't see anything that they're doing noteworthy. I don't see anything and any reason why. Then they come into a volatile community and collective that we're in, and where this is one collective that's both bittersweet, good and bad, because we allow the women to come in here and we can totally be ourselves, but in the same breath, to the younger men, it's sending a message that these women are very aggressive. And when they
I
see
don't
that
know.
all the
I mean, they
time,
allow them to be aggressive. Men allow the women to be
well, no,
aggressive.
no,
They
no, no,
Yeah,
actually
and
no.
then
Hold on.
so wait, no,
In this,
Sister
in
Freedom
this
gotta close
collect,
out what she's saying, and then Gemini, you close out what you're saying. Then it goes to Dot, Sakina, Nisha.
yeah, no, no,
no.
no.
What I'm saying is,
In this
mm,
collective, though, I'm saying only in this collective here on Black YouTube, not nowhere else, because other places we know that men and women have to act accordingly. But here on YouTube, women can be the most egregious, outrageous in both men and women. So it's not just
I
right.
think they see this on the outside. I'm sorry. I think that men allow these allow these women in a sense to be that way. And I'm saying allow in a sense because they could break up stuff instead. They see women pulling their hair out, clothes off, all that fighting, and they're taping it saying, get her again, get her again. And they're outside tape. This is unmasculine to me that a man would do that. You can actually go on YouTube and see where men are actually, they have lost their position. That's why women don't have respect for them no more.
Well,
Because and
right, but
some
that's
men
how
that
they brought in
are
AIDS, though, right?
actual men get treated bad when they're really men because women have been dealing with these unmanly men. You know what I'm saying? There's a such thing as an unmanly man. I mean, really. And for money, they will allow their women to be a certain way too. I'm just saying. I think it's unmanly for a man to see women fighting outside, taping them down, and then they take it and put it on YouTube and all kinds of stuff with the women breasts out, all kinds, no shame at all. That's all I had to say. I
Yeah,
mean, y'all
the
give your
young
opinion.
men are doing that,
Ain't
and
got no
Marcus is a
shame,
young
Freedom.
man. Yeah,
None.
Marcus falls in that category of
A minute left
30 and
to close
under.
out,
You
you
know,
guys.
I'm not
30,
saying anything else. I just wanted to hear what the men had to say about that.
Yeah, well, it's
35 and
not their
under.
turn next. It's Dots.
I'm not being mean about you, indigenous black man. I'm definitely not trying to say nothing smart about you, so please don't take it that way. That's why I said if you could have explained what you meant. But see, look how you coming back at you arguing instead of saying I was just trying to say these women fighting today just like men or something. If that's what you meant. Look, I don't care what women or men think
Nah, you
when I
gotta check
come
them,
to you.
Freedom. Nah, you gotta check them.
I'm just saying, you gotta think before you say how somebody gonna take what you saying. That's what I'm saying. You gotta think about what you gonna say. Because when men just say certain things that women look, they be like, oh God, no, he ain't saying that. Like, ugh. You gotta say you
Nah,
gotta watch what you saying.
Nah, he said what he said, and you on point. You ain't even gotta caution it. Keep it real.
Hey, gang, gang.
All right, now Gemini, your minute. I'm starting now. Gemini, go.
She already did. That's why you said guys.
Yeah,
Okay,
she already
next
done.
Dots' turn after that. I thought y'all had an exchange. Go ahead, Dots.
I'm trying to think of a question to ask. 'Cause I think that we kind of got I mean, going around and around. I'm trying to. I'm curious about this. Maybe. Let me see. And I'm curious, definitely, to hear this from the brother's perspective. In particular, in the same way y'all was asking, I think Jay, you was asking, how do we see the role of men or them becoming more overly feminized? Can we flip that? Like, what do y'all see from your point of view, right, in terms of women? Let's stick to black women in particular, right? When we think of like a Princella, since that's something that we all saw and know of, right? Like this sort of like we have women being over masculine, right? So what do you think are some reasons for that? Do y'all feel that your sisters have become more masculine or over masculine, right? So if you do, why? And if not, why? Just want to hear some, I'm curious y'all perspective. That's for everybody. I'm just saying, I'm just curious to hear on the other side.
Say, don't everybody talk at once, huh?
Okay, well, I
Wait
want
to see. You said she wanted to speak to the men first, or
Oh, okay.
everybody for the most part.
Go ahead, brother.
I mean, for myself, I believe it's a younger generational thing for women, more so here in New York. I would say the younger generation of women here in New York, you can hear them, just their whole mannerisms and demeanors are more characterized towards men than women just being ladies, young ladies and women. Like you'll hear young girls now telling other young girls to suck my dick, pardon my French.
Facts.
Like it's different. It's a different demographic on how older sisters grew up to this younger generation now.
But why?
It can be characterized a couple of ways. Once again, in food, drugs, a lot of different ways it can be characterized.
Okay, we're gonna
It
let
could be it could be passed down. It could be passed down curses from what their stepfathers or their fathers did to their mothers. That energy can be transferred from one person down to the next child.
Okay, we're gonna let all the men answer the question, and then we're gonna drop Brother Law and Emmanuel. Let Gemini come back up. Jay.
Oh no, I need a moment to think about Dots' follow-up question. She said why? But I do think man, I do think I agree with Brother La, but now I'm just thinking of the why. So give me a moment to think of why that's happening.
Okay, OTK.
Opportunity is why.
That's a good point.
It's bigger than that, brother. It's way
Yeah, I
bigger.
know. I got him. Man.
No, Brother Law, you gotta mute up.
Yeah, reason why I say opportunity, because I see it firsthand. These women today can be put in a place, and they're doing the work to be put in a place to where they can show their masculinity. I see more women today driving trucks damn near than men. Where I'm from, so I'm speaking from my area. You know, I can't speak worldwide because I didn't do the statistics worldwide, but I say it's because of opportunity
You know what?
free expression.
Well, you know what? I don't think it's such a problem for women to be a little bit more masculine. I think it becomes problematic when they become masculine with a guy in the wrong way, right? There's nothing wrong with them having masculine energy, right? We all know that. But I think the problem is when it's misplaced. And I think that's probably what we're seeing a lot more of, like misplaced energy.
Right, like
pointing that energy in the wrong directions, at the wrong people, at the wrong types. You know, it's not really wise. And then at the same time, I keep referring back to the conversation I had yesterday. My homegirl told me that's not really what women want. It almost seemed like they kind of put in certain situations where they kind of have to be like that. And I really can't put my finger on why. Maybe Dots knows, and maybe that's why she asked the question. Is that possible, Dots? Do you got an answer for us?
I know I agree with you.
I agree with many reasons. I think, but I'm just curious to hear. Yeah, go ahead, you guys.
Let me finish real quick. And to add on to that, you know what I mean. To my thought, we know that most people from, and this is statistics, most people that change their sexuality and go against their sexuality and become something else is because of experience. Something happened.
Ooh.
You know, let's not forget about that experience of life.
So, I think Indigenous Black wanted to come up, so I can come down for a while, so he can come up if he wants to.
No, I would say just wait for the men to close out so we can bring some of them down because he can't come up. Gemini can't come up until someone comes down. That's why Brother Law and Emmanuel will be the first to come down. Then as we close, some of the other, I think we'll keep Jay and OTK and the Truest because they're Roundtable Gang. But we'll go back and forth between what guests can come up. And I think it's on you to finish, OTK, then Emmanuel.
Damn, but can we even answer? I don't know if we can answer this. I don't know if I can answer this question.
Well, I can answer it.
It's real hard. I mean, it's like where you at. It could be environment too.
It's relatively simple though, brothers.
Go ahead, bro.
Basically, it boils down to this: a certain demographic people are dying off from this world, and the more demasculating and more feminization comes towards black men gives them an opportunity to breed to build them a stronger race. And we just leave it at that, brother.
Oh, that's that Willie Lynch. Okay.
And it still exists,
Okay.
and it still exists still to this day.
Yeah.
Definitely Willie Lynch.
Yeah, but I'm more interested in oh yeah, we got Emmanuel and Truist. My bad, y'all. Y'all go ahead. What y'all think? Emmanuel, what you think? Truist, what you think?
Who's going first?
Let Truist jump in. I think Truist just got here, right?
Yeah, I'm here. PCR.
Hey, can everybody else please mute up?
PCR. Happy birthday, Nisha, first and foremost. But I think Willie Lynch was one of the first things I was going to mention. There's a void, there's a gap, there's a specific figure that is important to the development of Black women and Black men missing from our community. We don't have as many strong male figures as we had at one point, and that we need to make sure these things are in the proper order they should be. But also, I think a big part of it is media. We are told and sold from the time we're little that there's certain things that are attractive to a man, supposedly, right? So there's a lot of Brother La, he brought up how a lot of certain women act out here in New York or even in like a Jersey or Philly, right? You'll have a lot of these girls that want to be gangsta Barbies and want to use the SMD and even tote guns and tote choppers and all this shit you see like a drill rapper do. And from my observation, most of the ones I know personally, they do it because they think that's what a man wants. They do it because they think that's what all of us boys and men like in a girl in my generation. So they have kind of a misguided, jaded view on what a man is attracted to. And this is just due to the influence of media that is clearly corrupted in the Black community to push that Willie Lynch theology. So I think a lot of it's systematic, it's done purposely. And another thing I just want to highlight, even when it comes to male aggression, right? I've witnessed some of the toughest thug gangster niggas when they go to work, all of that energy is gone. When they're in the presence of a white police officer or they're in certain spaces, they know how to calm it down. Same thing with some of the women we're talking about. But when we get around each other, right? When we get around each other, we're hostile. And that's something I've always found interesting because a lot of the people we're talking about were only this way when it comes to us.
Each other,
I don't see a lot of us have this energy when it comes to other communities and groups of people, especially when it's time to take your ass to work.
Damn, that's facts. Yo, real quick, Truist though, I like where you was going with the first point though, because you basically said there's a missing demographic in our community, and I think you were talking to Black men. My mind went to, well, if we believe that women are also changing and getting more masculine, are these same masculine women, are they the ones that are missing a father? Or if we looked into it, would they have fathers? Because I'm just really curious to see, like, would a young girl act like that if she had her dad?
So for me, when I say missing demographic, I'm not even just specifically talking about a Black father. I'm talking about a Black male figure, period. Like whether it be a Black father, that's your biological father, a stepfather, uncle, a neighbor that live up the street, that's a strong, positive male figure in your life. Just a positive male image in the Black community. That's the missing demographic.
I agree. What's up, Emmanuel? What you got, bro?
So the question is, are women becoming more masculine, right? So I would say it is good and bad at the same time. So it is good in a sense of like, since you're not expected to actually act in a certain feminine quality, I think they're experiencing more and more like freedom of expression in a sense of like, and for us guys, it's much more better because they're more honest. Nowadays, a woman will ask you forward of what she actually thinks. I don't think that was like a thing back in earlier generations. So I think it's kind of good in that scenario, but it's also bad because I think like specifically why we're seeing women becoming more masculine is because the I don't think there is a lack of availability of men because like if there are, since masculinity is like a necessity because they, protection,
Mm.
provision, these are necessary things.
Mm-hmm.
So when men are missing in their life, they have to fit in that category because now they have to defend themselves, now they have to
Right.
provide for themselves.
Right.
So I think I kind of feel bad for them in that scenario. But I also see a positive side, which is like, well, I think women, like, if we actually force them to like become a feminine role, they'll play with us the guessing game where they're kind of feminine and we have to always have to approach them or whatever. Women actually these days they approach you themselves and you actually know that they're interested or not. I don't think that was like a thing back in the time because the guy had to initiate these things. So it is benefiting society in a certain situations, but a broader term I think is damaging. So we have to see both of the sides. That's what my take.
Great
And
answer,
thank
man.
you, Emmanuel, for coming up. If you could go ahead and close out for us, and then anyone else coming up in the chat, know you'll have a certain time frame. Then we'll have to go and see if anyone else wants to come up.
Yeah, I'll leave. Thank you.
Thanks for coming through, bro.
Thank you for coming up, and you can close out. Get some last words about are men and women equal in your perspective.
I don't actually have a closing remarks. I have to leave like right now, right now. So thank you.
All right, bro. Peace out, man.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, I thought that was a great answer. He gave you the pros and cons for each point that he made, and I think he was hitting those points, man. Shout out to you, Emmanuel and Truist, man. I love both of y'all perspectives. Even Brother La,
Oh
everyone
yeah,
gave great perspectives.
he's on point.
But it kind of almost sounded like Emmanuel was saying what I was kind of alluding to. Is it an absence why women may be trying to fulfill that role? Is it an absence and a male dominant presence or a positive presence, like Truist said? I wonder
But
what
what
the
you think
queens
we
think.
said earlier, Jay? I'm trying to understand when you asked that particular question, and we were talking about earlier the man missing in the house due to death, and women not necessarily being prepared to take on his role. What did you hear us say?
Oh, I'm just trying to get y'all to talk. That's all. Go ahead. You got the
No,
floor.
I mean, I think so. So I definitely think that missing demographic, it plays a large role into it. But as I know, with many women in our generation, Jay, there's plenty of women that had both parents or had a strong male figure. Like you guys brought up the preacher's daughter. I want to say like any girl I knew that had a cop as a father, they was wild too. You know what I mean? Like it's more so what I see is what a lot of these chicks think a man want, what they think a man is attracted to. And some of my friends, I mean, you think that's what we like? You think that's what we want? Like y'all have no idea what we really want.
No,
Like,
some of
you
it
know
is
what I mean?
Ooh,
escapism.
ooh.
No, some of it also is escapism from bruised and being a little rebellious. Come on, we're not gonna pin
Yeah.
all of that on there. So make sure you generalize who you talking about. So it's not just cops. That makes perfectly good sense for cops kids or PK kid to sit here and act a goddamn fool because they mom and daddy is strict as hell. They daddy probably stricter than anybody. So what better way to rebel than to go out in the damn streets and act a fool? Right? And to just have some escapism, to sit here and drink and smoke and do whatever, just to sit here and take their mind off of all them damn rules they're gonna have to deal with when they get home.
Right. I wasn't saying that's the only reason, but some of these things, and even with the escapism, the when you go out acting a fool, again, a lot of times, like a lot of girls think certain actions you do when you are wilding and bugging out is what a man is attracted to.
Ain't no way
And
you
yeah,
gonna get me to believe a woman coming from a two-parent home, a young lady coming from a two-parent home, looks at you and then looks at some weird rapper and says, "Mm-hmm, yep, you just like my daddy." Are you serious?
no,
No,
no, no,
I
no, no,
think
no,
the
no, no.
wild
That's not what I.
ones
That's not what I'm saying. That's
don't
not what
come
I'm
from
saying.
two-parent homes. I
No,
think the
no,
wild ones who with that expectation come from something else.
no, no.
I don't know
So,
what
so,
they come
so this
from.
is what I'm. I'll give an example. Maybe an example will make it clear. So, like, let's say there's a girl. She got a strong male figure in her life. I'm not even going to say both parents. She has a strong positive male image, right? However, she's been influenced and subconsciously jaded by black media in 2023. The music we listen to, the type of movies and TV shows we watch. And she sees that, unfortunately, especially with us in our 20s, right? She's seeing images of women that are promiscuous, that will go on a drill with her boyfriend, that'll help him sell whatever it is he's doing. You know what I mean? Like he's involved in the negative element of our culture, right? With him. And she will think this is what we in our generation want in a woman. We want a woman who's gonna be the down girl, who could be the around the way girl with us. You know what I mean? And it's just not what most positive, like, unfortunately, there's a lot of us that do want that in my generation, right? And that's where you guys was talking about a lot of us are messed up on the male side. But when we're asking why do the females act the way they do, more often than not, they like this is what niggas want. And they're
Well,
not even
true.
worried about a long-term relationship.
True. Let me ask
You
you,
know
because
what?
you do
Nobody
represent a
is
younger
worried about a
generation,
long
right?
term.
True. You do represent a younger generation, so I'm curious what is it that you guys like in a woman? What are you looking for?
Okay, so I'll speak to what most of us want, not just me personally. I'll try to speak to us in general. So unfortunately, what most men in our generation is looking for is a woman who, while we're not looking for a virgin, we're looking for a girl who hasn't fucked a lot of our boys. Sorry, I made to use the F word, but hasn't slept around with a lot of people we know, right? She could have bodies, but not too many of the people we know because we don't like embarrassment. We want a girl who got a head on her shoulders. She intelligent. She don't gotta have degrees, especially if you got a decent job yourself. You don't need a girl with a fucking master's or bachelor's. Although most black women have them at a higher rate than us, anyways. We not looking for a girl who necessarily is going to be in a street element, right? But we do want someone who's a little street smart in terms of the black community. But in terms of those of us that y'all was talking about earlier that are a little more hyper aggressive and emotional and doing things we really shouldn't be, they are going to look for a girl who is going to be down with them to do what it is they doing. You know what I mean? So I can't speak to that because I'm not a part of that element myself, but that tends to fall in line where you will get girls who think I need to move a certain way and behave a certain way because I'm trying to attract these dudes because they where the money at, and I'm trying to be where the money's at.
So do you mind a girl that's a little bit wilder? Let's say a girl that was a little bit wilder was attracted to you. Do you like her back?
So when I was single, I didn't mind. I didn't mind just like having like one night stands and fucking with a girl like that, but I would never take a girl like that serious. Absolutely not.
All right, and we're about to go out of order. First, we're going to see if Nisha wants to join in on the conversation, and then we'll go back in order. Nisha, are you there? Did you have anything to say about what's been said so far? She may have walked away. Okay, we can go
Well, I
back.
would like to say, I would like to just say my part.
Yeah, say
Oh,
your
wow.
part. We just want to make sure everybody's getting in the conversation. Sakina,
Well,
Sister Freedom, and Nisha, and
yeah,
everything.
for sure. I'll be really, really quick. I was gonna say, true, that it also could be when you were saying about, maybe it's TV and it's the music, but I also think that there's a piece to where it's also just being hormonal and developmental and growing up as a young girl or a young man. I mean, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna mess up, you're gonna date dudes that may not be the best for you. I think that that comes with age and time, and as you get older, you're supposed to get wiser, right? I don't think necessarily it's always about the outside per se, like music, television, all that extra stuff. Yeah, of course those environmental factors matter, but at the end of the day there's also something hormonal that goes on, right? Like I think of my sons, they're 14 and 16, and no matter how intentional their dad and I are in raising them, the bottom line is that there's hormones, you understand? So I think that that also we need to take into account. But the last piece that I would say is, now I say this over and over. Number one, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? If I say nothing else to my sons in terms of just like how I'm raising them, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So where you are and who you are and the energy that you are embodying at whatever stage typically is who you're going to resonate to and who you attract. That's just my opinion. I believe in that very strongly. That's number one. Last point would be that I'm gonna land my plane there, and I'm gonna let the next person go.
Oh my gosh. No, I just think that again, in this equal opportunity world that we live in, there are lots of things that people come in just real hard on. Like, we equal, so I can say this because I know that it matters. Yeah, it does matter, but don't forget, while you busy being the equalizer, you're talking about a 20-year spread. So just because it happened in your time don't mean it happened in my time, don't mean it happened in their time. So just like we do timelines in history, this thing that we're talking about between men and women also has a timeline. So sometimes what you're saying makes perfectly good sense to you, but not perfectly good sense to somebody 10 years before you or 10 years behind you, right? So you got to know your audience as well. So sometimes it does make perfectly good sense for younger people to date the way that they date. Because I know I'm always asking my kids too, what are y'all out here doing? Y'all just wow. And they go, well, no, mom, you have to these days. You have to be careful of this and you have to do this. I mean, 90 million rules. And I promise you, I have never, ever, ever, never have I heard any of my children mention being in love. Where the heck did that genre go?
Wow,
At
you are right. Good, great
all.
point. Great point.
I mean, I said to myself, like, dog, y'all don't fall in love no more. I mean, they don't. I mean, it is like, ooh, excuse me for even saying that word, right? I want to sit here and get jumped on by this new generation. This something that they don't. I don't care if they've seen it on TV, seen your parents with it. They don't want it, and so they don't engage in it. They don't practice it. They don't know what it is. They're not in touch with their feelings. They're in touch with strong feelings, right? Like beat you up, kill you, beat you down, right? Put you in a headlock, but they're not familiar with love, touch, gentle, compassion, empathy, patience, none of that. None of the seven fruits of the spirit, none of that. They just like, what? Hey, get to looking at you crazy. You get to talking about, well, are you in love with the young man? Are you in love with the young woman? What? Love? What is that?
Mm-hmm.
It's foreign. it's a foreign notion. So I don't know, what we gonna do with a loveless generation. And I'm talking about love on lots of levels, not just love in a relationship, but love for your fellow man, love for your neighbor, love for yourself, love for this, love for that, love, you know, uh, uh, you know, a craft, or I don't know. It's just totally missing. It's MIA. So if anyone can explain where the heck love went.
To me, this is a don't care generation. But that's just my
Sakina, it's
it ain't
Sakina.
my turn. I keep forgetting
No,
this right. You moved me. Sorry. Sorry,
yeah.
you moved me. That's right. Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. And I know someone said 80 minutes later. I know that's why I was trying to get Nisha in. It's actually been an hour and a half since she's even said anything. So that's why I'm just like, y'all, let's please go in order so everybody can be a part. I don't know if people even remember what's being asked when it goes so far.
Why?
Sakina?
Because the answering so long. Why you say that? Because the answer's been so
Well, it's been
long.
an hour and a half. When Nisha came up, she said one thing and she hasn't said anything since.
Oh.
But she was called on. She didn't want to say anything. You said
Oh
Nisha
no,
needs
I'm
to every
saying,
time. If she wanted
yeah.
to talk, Nisha would say something. It's not like
Well,
she's being glossed over. She when it's her turn,
well,
she
it
says
has been a glossed over. I mean, Sakina, it's an
campaign.
hour since Sakina last talked. I just used her because she's
Well,
an out of
Sakina
She
had
said
talked.
she'll be right back. Yeah, but Sakina says she'll be back though.
town.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it is Sister Freedom. It's your turn. My bad.
It is. Nene,
Yes.
where'd she go at?
They stepped away.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go back to something Dot says that caught my attention. And which both of the sisters were correct, but one thing that I've always appreciated concerning the way of life that Islam has bestowed upon me is the fact that it recognizes that when you are young and you in school, that a little girl, I keep saying woman, but little girl and a little boy have to be taught to be in the presence or around each other. They're not in the same schools because they don't feel as though that they are even ready yet. And I appreciate that because when you said something about hormones, they really do. I mean, it's not something that's controllable. It is an actual natural reaction for you to be attracted to the opposite sex. You know what I mean? So the fact that in Islam the boys and the girls are not in the same schools together is because for one they are aware of that and they teach them to be able to be around them so they won't get into a situation where they're having early pregnancies and this in that situation. So I wanted to bring that up when you said that. I'll be glad, but one day I'm gonna try to do a just one of our classes on on the positiveness that Islam has, because a lot of times on these different panels, you hear bad things when there's so much good. And that's one of the good things that I had got from it. So I just wanted to say that because you had brought that up. And I don't even remember what the question was. What was the question? Who gave the question? Hello? Uh-oh.
I have
I
no clue.
did.
I
I,
can't
I
answer
did.
you.
I
I
did.
think
I
the
was just asking about where did the love go? Because I've never heard my children, when it comes to whoever they're involved with or just period, I've never heard them mention the word love. Not ever.
well, first of
And I'm
all,
like, where did
let's
it go? Like, why is it so, how did it get so lost that we got a generation of children that's not mentioning
well, well,
being in
then
love or
you bring
even
that
wanting to be
question
in
up.
love?
So let me bring this question up. What do you think love is? And I'm gonna ask that after Dulcinea answer the question, whatever. Because you said that in the midst of your question, your answer, Dulcinea, I think you're next. What in the heck do you think love is? And I love for them to hear the male perspective on what they believe and feel like love is. Because a lot of people get lust mixed up with love. Sex mixed up with love. It just what do you think love
Well,
is?
you know what, Freedom? Let me before the men answer. my
Well,
my
it's just
point
me.
is, hold on, but before the men answer though, listen, my children are not even getting that confused. They just never use the love word, period. So no matter what they think it looks like, apparently they don't think it looks like anything. Apparently they can't define it, don't know what it looks like, and if they do would know what it is, they don't want it. And that was my point, that even the word is missing. I'm like, geez, I've never heard my kids from this age on down ever mention love. Not one time about anything. And that's the craziest part ever. I'm like, where did it go? Because that's another missing genre. Where did love go?
Okay. So Destiny,
No,
you heard
no,
that.
Sakina's back. So Sakina,
Okay.
it's Sakina's turn.
So let me start by Indigenous Black. He said no one spoke on his previous comment saying what's
Oh yeah, I
worse
was
than
gonna ask him
violence
too.
or silence. And I'm going to say the answer to that is death. Because violence ends in silence. Because either they're going to beat you to shut up or they're going to shut you up. And either one of them is going to end up in death. And that's silence. So there's nothing worse than that. Somebody going to beat you up to shut you up or they're going to shut you up in death. So there's nothing worse than violence or silence. Both of them end up in death. What can be worse?
Freedom, you see that answer? I'm sorry, Sakina. Freedom, you see that answer that Marcus gave? He said love is oxytocin and dope,
Right,
oxytocin,
but he also said,
oxytocin
stone
and
age.
dopamine.
This is nonsense. Are you serious? We still need to do what
Yes.
our kids are in schools, getting pregnant underneath the bleachers. Okay, and but Marcus, are you just talking tonight? Just
See?
talking. See, but that's
See?
what we go back to that thing about why
Mm-hmm.
women disrespect or feel the way they feel about men, about certain males.
No, love is self because whatever that is in self, because it's the things you do for self. It ain't for no other reason. It's all for you. Because whatever you do for yourself, it's all about what you love. It ain't for no other reason. You love somebody that much that you do it. You love something so much that you do it. It's all about you. Whatever you love, it ain't for no other reason. That's why they say love don't love nobody, but it's all about you anyway. Because all the things that you love is what you doing it for. You. It ain't about for the love of money. You love the money. That's why you doing it. You love the food. That's why you eating it. You love that person. That's why you doing it. It's all about you. You hate the person. That's why you doing it. It's the same thing. It's all about you. So if it is a mind control, it's about your mind and your control.
Nisha, did you
So
ever come back, or is it
Yeah,
still on?
I think we need
so
sleep.
so
Yeah, I
wait,
think she may have fell
so
asleep. Hold on,
Dulcinea,
Gemini. Hold
go
on,
ahead.
Gemini. So as far as to answer your question, I do believe the younger generation, they don't use love as much, but I don't believe that it's like completely out of their vocabulary or anything. I think there's a difference because a lot of them use different educational purposes of being like, okay, shadow work, different things, and the love bombing, right? So I think a lot of them are used to hearing love, hearing I love you, but don't see the action. So now there's a lot more cognizance to just be like, I'm not just gonna use love for no reason. I'm not gonna just bring someone home for no reason. Different things like that. Like they have to be special, especially like, you got a good mama, you got a good dad. You're like, oh, I'm just not gonna bring any Joe Smo home or any Susie Q because I want to actually love this person or have real love for them. So I can see it from both angles. There are less as far as the R&B, the different things, situation of love, but then there's also people are not easily persuaded anymore. It's like I
Well
really
then,
have to
okay,
feel for
so
this person,
Dulcinea.
and they're not. And 1 second, they're not afraid to act on lust. So if they have a lust for a person, they're gonna do it. But just because they have a lust for a person doesn't mean they're gonna bring them home or you're ever gonna meet them.
Okay, so then answer the question. When he says that love is oxytocin and dopamine, how do you translate that to how
Because
is
he
that a pickup line? How do you translate that to
it's
I
sweet
love
love
you? Because
too.
what it sounds like to me, and I'm being very serious, it goes back to when Sakina said, I always sit and say, boy, they just gonna sit and take away everything. They gonna debunk everything from us. So when you sit and say that love is a chemical, the way that he described it, which love is, if we were talking about science, but this is human interaction. This is social. We are socializing right now. And then he says love is dopamine and oxytocin. He can't even put that in a word on a human level. He can't even put that on a human level. He has to break that down in science. He has
It
to
makes
break that down some
yeah.
other way, right, to eradicate the feelings, the natural feelings that occur between two people. And I'm just saying, what is going on that
It makes
every
you think that
single
he ain't
thing
getting no
we
love in his
do,
life. Is he getting
yeah,
any love?
got to be. Yeah, because I mean, why we gotta break down every single thing? How come we just can't sit and say it's love, and then Marcus put in there, yeah, you know what? Like my ex-girlfriend, Brenda, she was love. You see what I'm saying? Like they
Yeah.
can't, like people cannot put that in a. They don't know the difference between when to use that word and when not to, when to socialize and when not to. Everything got to be so technical in an uphill battle. Otherwise, we just don't prove, we don't believe that it exists. What?
Well, I think he's a science teacher, and I'm not sure what generation Marcus
No,
is.
no,
I
no.
don't think
I know,
Marcus
I
is
know
young.
he's a science
Yeah.
teacher. I know he
Well, and
teaches
so that's why I think he's
science,
bringing
or
it
he's
to
an
the
advocate of
chemical aspects
science.
that are released in the brain.
And I
But obviously,
understand
we
that. We
know
don't
Yeah,
need
love
to
is
yeah,
go back
but
over that,
love
right? We
is
don't need to go
further.
back over that.
Well,
We
I'm
are
saying
talking
as
about
far as
like
we know that I know
what?
what we're
No,
talking
it's
about. Unless,
11:30 at night on
I
a
get
on
that
a
we're not
Sunday. And so when
right.
we are talking, we are now socializing. So when
12:30.
you
Well, I
even
get that. I was
robotic,
just giving him the benefit of the doubt why he said it
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
he
But
can't have no
it's
benefit of
like
the doubt.
chemicals that are released in
It's
the
too
brain, and he's
AI.
being correct as far as that point. But love
Yeah,
is
but it's too,
farther than that
but it's
because
But
too, but
wait a
it's
minute,
love
y'all. Can
will,
the
love
truest
will
and
is
OTK in
being.
that time get a chance to answer?
Oh yeah,
right. It's
yeah,
so
definitely,
robotic and it's so
definitely.
No.
Well,
AI,
I was
right?
just
But
And that's
we
saying
my
as
heard
far
point
you,
right
as
there.
that,
Gemini, like 8 times. Say this. Okay,
and
so
I
what
was
is
We
saying as
love?
talking
far as
about
So
the
I'm
questions,
saying that
that's
to
why I'm
polarity.
say,
saying close out because she did ask me the question as far as it. Not
And I
just
was also
saying why
asking you,
Marcus.
Dusty, to answer. Answer. What do you think love is?
Okay, and that's where I'm answering right now. We know that
Thank
love is further than the chemicals that are released because past that, you're choosing love even when those chemicals aren't being released anymore. Even when it gets on your goddamn nerves and there
you.
ain't no oxytocin and dopamine left to be released, you
Mm.
still choosing love. So we know it's more than those chemicals. Love to me is a choice. Love is something that you have to choose every day. We talk about just the feelings that come around it, but it's bigger than the feelings. That's why your mom, your dad can love you through your mistakes. That's where it comes as far as leaving those conditions out the door because you understand where a person is going to fall short, but you love them anyway. I think love, we tend to put more just based on the feelings. If we're happy, if we're sad, it's not love anymore, but I don't think it's that simplistic. Love is definitely a complicated act that you're choosing with any person, whether it be friendship, neighbor, or anything, and it's something that is shown and acted upon.
Right, I can get with that last part, but I don't know if love is a choice. I think when you love somebody, it's kind of hard to make it a choice. Like I think you can't help it. You just love them. You can't. You. It's not. I mean, I might maybe you are right, but I don't know. I think love just happens. But Atan and the truest and OTK, I'd love to hear what y'all as men think love it will feel or your idea of love for you.
Okay, this is Aton talking. Now, I agree with Gemini.
People. I think at this time, you take love and you turn it into a metal chart or a scientific chart, and you try to explain it. Now, plenty of times, I got 6 children. I have grandchildren. I've been in a lot of relationships, and it just comes out of nowhere. Now, it rarely came out of my mouth, but I'm just saying, in relationships with women, they would say it just come out, and they just say I love you, and then me as a man, I'd be like, okay. That's my response.
But
You know
do
what
you
I'm
really
saying?
love that person though? Do you love the person?
Um, well, the way I was raised, we didn't do a lot of salutations. We didn't do a lot of romance. Not a lot of thank yous, not a lot of bless yous, anything like that. Excuse me. It just what it was. Your actions showed your love. How I was raised. Not saying it was right or it was wrong. That's just what it was. Now,
Wow. Well, after y'all, I want to know what Gemini think is love after the men gets finished speaking. I want to know because she didn't get the opportunity, I don't think, to say what she felt like love was.
I think she made it pretty clear
Yeah.
because she was
No,
talking
no, I
about
thought she was saying that what happened to love for the
Well,
young
that's what I'm
people.
saying. The way I received it, I think she made it pretty clear is that
Okay.
that
Okay.
love, that feeling is gone in some of the in a lot of the youngsters these days. Because I think it's just more on how somebody looks.
And all that.
Like the one guy that made the comment in there, plastic Barbie dolls and stuff like that, because that's what they see on TV a lot. They see a lot of people with the injections and all that extra stuff. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
and at this point in time, TV is raising a lot of these youngsters. So
Mm.
me, I be a lot. I be in my children's ear. My thing is this. It's like you gonna have your own mind. If you are gonna watch TV or you gonna look at somebody, you got to be objective about what you're looking at and question everything. But at the end of the day, you got to have, and that's what goes. That's what goes back to, like me. I continue to trend on how I was raised. Don't act like you ain't been told. This is the way you got to conduct yourself when you get out there. If you're a man, you be a man. If you're a woman, this is how you got to conduct yourself. If you're a man, this is how you got to conduct yourself. And people are watching. Whether
Okay.
whether whether you like it or not, people are gonna have their own opinion, and perception is everything. So
I agree
so
with you.
you see what I'm saying? So it's
And we
like
have to
me.
model that for the babies. We can't expect them to learn that, right? So like they're gonna model whatever they're seeing too. I think, right? Like so, I mean that's in anything with conversation. I love you. I know I'm big on that. I say I love you. I grew up with that. Like I love you. I'm a hugger. Like I grew up with those types of languages. Like so, my kids use that a lot too. It's nothing every damn day before they leave out the house. Love you, ma. Before I leave out the house, love you back. Like it's something. It's modeling, right?
That is true. I say I
Right.
love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all, sisters. I love
That's
y'all.
right.
I,
I love y'all. Yeah, true.
I love
I'll
y'all.
give you. I'll give you an example. Certain things
Oh
I
wait,
don't
one
do.
time at a time, y'all. For your next example, let OTK and the truest get in.
Okay.
They gotta tell us they love us first now. Just like
I nub you. I nub you.
No. OTK, you there? OTK may have
Went
left.
on the
The
break.
truest, what is love to you?
The love is a feeling, a strong feeling of deep admiration, affection for
oh,
any person, thing, or any place, any person, place, or thing. Now, a sure sign of love would be dedication, would be
mm.
you showing that feeling consistent. It's not going to be a one-time thing for the most part. It could be. Don't get me wrong. You can have that feeling in the moment, and then something happens that strips it away. But for the most part, true love, you will see a pattern of consistent admiration and affection towards a person, place, or thing. And there will be signs of dedication along with it to whatever it is, whether it's a person, a job, a car, a family heirloom. It can be anything. You have these patterns alongside.
So you saying actions speak louder than words?
So love is a feeling, but the signs of that feeling would be your actions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's two. He agrees with me. So that's two.
Uh-huh. I agree too.
Gemini. She was saying for you to explain what love is
Well,
to you.
she had explained it. I remember when she was saying patience and all that. I had forgot that she had said that, but she did.
Mm-hmm.
And there
Yeah,
was
yeah.
one last thing I just wanted to close with. When the person was speaking about it being a chemical in the brain, those chemicals he was mentioning absolutely lead to the emotion or feeling of love. But those chemicals in their self are not love, because those same chemicals lead to other emotions and feelings in the brain. So, yes, when we're taking conversations to science all the time, sometimes some of these things are not just based off of natural sciences, they're also based off of social sciences. When you're talking about love, you're dealing with psychology, right? And psychology is a subjective field. Social sciences are subjective. That's why love doesn't have a definite answer across the board. Love is subjective. You're going to get different answers and opinions on the subject matter of love because it deals with psychology.
Right. Well, see, and but that's my point. We need to bring that psychology back in, because I promise you, I don't, I haven't heard that word in so long, that I'm like, is it my imagination, or is it just not part of the conversation anymore? And I think it speaks to whenever we get with the ladies and we talk amongst ourselves, and we may be talking about some issues, where there's this one thing that women say across the board, and I mean all states, all 50 states and some, about how right now, men will be quicker to be like, hey, you know what? I'm not really, hey, my name is Mike. I'm not looking for anything, friendship at the most. It's like, wait, what? Like, what in the world is going on that everybody's so disconnected? Nobody wants strong commitment, or commitment past what they feel is reasonable to do. Sacrifice is completely out the door. You on your own, right? All of these things that make strong and healthy families, which we're a collective who's supposed to be about strong and healthy families, but yet when we are conversating, we leave out very important key factors such as love. It's not even in the conversation hardly anymore, anywhere, amongst anybody. So we have to really go back to the drawing board again and say, okay, but what do we really want then? If love is out, then what's the new thing? What's the new replacement word for love? Is it just friendship? Is it friend, what's that other one? Not a friends with benefit, but is it a commitment?
Situationships,
Yes, situationship. Is it a
entanglements.
yes? I mean, it's like, what in the world have we become? Then we say when we're trying to build, we can't build because the foundation's not strong enough, because we left out some key components to make that concrete solid.
Someone in the chat was asking,
I just
can
want
you
to say good
love?
night, y'all. Good night. I love the conversation.
I'm about ready just to
I
head
love
on.
the conversation. Nah, but I gotta get up in a couple of hours. So
All right.
good night,
Good
y'all.
night.
Have a good
Good
night, Dots.
night. Sakina.
Yes. What is love?
Okay.
Hurt me. Listen, for these entanglements and getting tangled, because this is serious and it just sounds like a hot ass mess. And for what is it worth? I don't know, because the whole sole purpose of fooling around, the objective is not the same. First of all, right? Um, Everybody trying to get notches and bags, and the purpose is not the same anymore. So I understand exactly where you're going with this. Um, it's pride and hoism, and so I don't know. Um, we raised our daughters that it was more to life than being pretty, but now everybody got to be pretty. And I mean it's I don't know, because it's
Not
one thing to be pretty, but we so pretty that we don't cook, we don't clean, but we still want a ring. I'm just laughing, but it's
actually his husband called, or her husband called her out for that, because he been videotaping her cooking and cleaning. Like, see,
right.
she lying to the public. She cooks
And
and
you know I'm not doing it, and you can forget me too, because that's what I feel like. For me, what loves look like. Give me a ring so I can cook and I can clean.
But let's keep it real though. They got maids and nannies, and she might cook a little bit and clean a little bit, but let's be real. So I'm
that
just
means your house. So that means your house is all towed up, Gemini. What you talking about?
Who house is toe up? You ain't
You
gonna
said
never
you don't
find no
cook and you don't
Gemini
clean.
house toe up.
No, but
I
You said
nigga,
you don't
I'm
cook
not
and
gonna
don't
hold
clean.
up.
said
Oh
she
no, no, no,
ain't
no,
cooked
no!
and
I
You
got
cleaned
live
you.
out
for
of a
2.5 months.
microwave. You live
No,
out
no,
of a
no. Let
She
me
said
microwave.
answer
for
that. I take
Yeah.
offense to that.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Watch what
Cause
you
something.
say. Watch what you
No,
say.
no, no,
You
no,
got it. We're
sir.
gonna
No,
make it
sir.
clear.
He
No,
We're gonna
said
make
sir.
it
she
clear.
ain't cleaning your
No, no,
house
no, no, no,
until
no.
you put the
Thank
ring
you.
on.
No, let me
exactly.
let me say that to him. No, let me
Hey, I
correct
didn't
him.
ask for a
I'm
lawyer.
not
I
cleaning.
didn't
No,
ask
no,
for a
no, boo.
lawyer.
I'm not cleaning your house. My house stays
Oh.
clean.
Well, you
See,
got the
Let's.
lawyer. I don't think
I'm gonna need you to know who you talking to. Okay. No, 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 no. I'm
All
not
right.
cleaning your
I just
shit.
wanted.
Not ever,
I just
never
want to be
until I
clear.
get a
you ain't
ring
washing
He
your
said,
forever.
"I'm
drawers.
not
She
cleaning
not
or
cleaning
cooking
your
until I get a
house.
ring."
I'm not
That's
doing
what
a
I
damn.
heard.
She not washing your
That's what I heard.
dishes. She not wiping down the
I'm not being
cabinet.
your
She not
girlfriend
sweeping
or
up
your
the
wife without no
floor.
commitment or no purpose. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be your girlfriend or your wife without no commitment or no purpose. If this relationship is not, we're not, this is not a committed relationship. This relationship has no purpose. I don't have a ring. I don't have nothing for you.
see, you know what?
Absolutely, and you
This
shouldn't. And you
this
shouldn't.
this is almost my new question, and
But I bet. Nah, I'm playing. Let me shut up.
Yeah, you bet I make my own money and you bet I won't never need yours. That's what you better bet on. You better bet on that. Because I'm not out here playing. If I fall in love with you, we falling in love for real. And you ain't going nowhere, neither am I. But we talking
Oh
about on this,
damn.
on this level right here, where we have a whole generation of loveless folks, and we are totally missing what they need. So when we go back to the drawing board and ask the question, even with my sons, I'm always like, son, you got to give to get. How dare you go out and on a relationship, go out on a date with a person, and you don't buy her anything, but you want everything in return. You want a kiss, you want a hug. That's crazy to me. I'm not teaching my kids to be out in these streets sitting here like, you know what? Let me be the dump truck and let me get dumped on. We got to do better, because there's a lot going on. And again, when we sit and say, what happened to our community? We're not building it correctly.
see, and that's what I'm
A
saying.
Gemini.
I'm sorry. Let me finish out. That's what I'm trying to go with. We got this society now where uh they're slipping with raising the daughters. They're not raising. We raised our daughters to be wise. We raised our daughters to with this integrity. That it was more than just being beautiful. Now girls are just pretty than a motherfucker, nasty as a bitch. I hate to say it like that, but it's true. You can see them, and they just as pretty as they want to be, and then have the nastiest attitudes, right? We seen videos where that girl walked around and was slapping on men, and then the man hit her with a brick. Now I didn't agree with him hitting her with a brick, but should he have defended himself? Yeah. So that's why, Renegade, I agree with you when you said what you said about um, women stepping up to men, challenging them again. That's what we're doing. And then you say men fighting women or men protecting women. How do you supposed to protect a woman at the same time when you challenging men and saying we equal? No, we're not. No,
That's
we're
true.
not. And
That's
so
true.
then we turn around, you challenging him because you feel that you are equal to him. No, you
Right.
are not. So therefore, then you step up to him and don't know. I hate to say it, but we choose words, and then you get in your feeling with words saying that you are his equal. No, you are not. You are
Exactly.
his partner. You are
Mm-hmm.
who you are, and you play a role, and he plays a role, but you don't challenge that. And then when you
That
step
helped
up
me.
to him, right? And then when you step up to him feeling like you can challenge him, and then there it is. And then all of a sudden you say, well, he did this, he did that. No, you did this.
That's
Sometimes
right.
every action there is a reaction. And then we
And let
want
me
to say that this, that, and the other happened. So yes, but sometimes this is how it falls. And it's
let me
not,
get in the car with you. Let me
come
get in
on,
the car with you. Let me get in the car with you. Let me ride with you for a minute
come on.
because you just touched on a couple of things. You because Gemini said, "What other words can we use? What are we using besides love?" And you said partnership, and that is the main thing. Partnership. You have an agreement. You stay in your lane. I stay in mine. What are we gonna do? We
Mm.
gotta ask each other those questions instead of jumping out the window. See, that's where love kind of can get you because you can love anything. You say, I love that D, or I love that P, or I love his money, or I love that whip, I love this, I love that. But that honeymoon gonna be over in a minute. You gonna see that dude scratching his ass in the morning. You gonna see that girl, you know what I'm saying, with her wig kind of twisted to the side, crust in her eyes, you know what I'm saying? You just don't know. But the main thing that you touched on was the simple fact that no, I'm being serious. I'm being serious. I'm telling you, I'm very selective. You know what I'm saying? I haven't picked wrong yet. So the thing, because my thing was always is that do I want to have a child with you? I said, and that's where I kind of laid my thing. But I was trained that way as a child. You know what I'm saying? I was trained. I was taught to do something a certain way, and I followed that. And I took that into my adulthood instead of being a rebel. So real shit, real
Anton,
shit.
aren't you
Go
the
ahead.
one with the 6 kids and the 4 baby
Yeah,
mothers? Mm.
no,
Nisha,
five.
five baby mama, 6 kids. Nisha, you back yet? You sleep?
Nah, don't get it twisted. Not four, five.
Oh,
Mm.
Okay, Sister Freedom, it's on you.
go ahead, Rabbit.
See, y'all funny. See, ask me the question before you guys go through that.
Ain't
Ask
nothing
me the question.
wrong.
Mm.
Ask me the question. I don't mind. I'll answer. It's women. I'll tell you what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we hear you, Macaroni.
Oh, it
We
didn't
hear
Are
work
you
you.
like that.
there, Sister Freedom?
That's
No,
Machiavelli.
no, it
Okay.
didn't. It didn't work like that. I thought I was grown though.
Return of the Mac.
I thought I had 4 children before I turned 26.
Oh,
I thought I was grown. You know what I'm saying? And that was the one part I didn't listen to. But the
probably
thing was it went a certain way. But I raised all mines. You know what I'm saying? I was married a couple times. I was just really just grown. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
Nisha
that's
leaving.
just
Good
that's just where it
Nisha.
was.
You
You
could
know
have
what I
said,
mean?
is Sister Freedom, are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead, Sister Freedom.
No, pass me. I'm just listening for a minute.
Okie dokie. Well, I'm gonna go because I'm about to head out too with Dots and everything. I gotta be up early in the morning. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I definitely see what how everybody's everybody's points or anything. I want to just address something that you said, Sister Freedom, that you don't see it as a choice. And I say it's a choice because you have to continue to act on it. I mean, like, there's people that lose their virginity in lust, but there's a lot of people that were in love with the people that they lost their virginity to, and they're not in love with them today because it's an action. You have to continue on that force. And if you stop that force, you can fall out of love with someone just like being in love could.
Yeah,
I
I
just
was.
think
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was just saying, as far as that, that to me, that's the choice that has to be made. But I get what you're saying, where it's more involuntary of like what you uh in the beginning stages, and I think that's based on you figuring out yourself. Like some people trauma bond, so anyone that's going through a certain thing, they're easily fall in love with them because they're bonding over the same similar traumas, which is something that you have to work on, and different things of why you gravitate to loving a person. But still, to keep that going, it is an action that is required over and over again. But yeah, I would say definitely with what Sakina was saying of men and women, they aren't equal, and you and like talking about the talking back or jumping up to them. I disagree a little bit because you are equal, but you shouldn't talk back or jump up because you're not the
So is this
same.
a summary Dulcinea?
Yeah, it's a summary.
I was going to go to
I
answer
knew it.
something.
It's
With
a summary because I'm closing out for the night and then I'm heading out. But like
Okay, well, thank you, Dulcinea. Go on here, girl. Do your thing.
thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, men and women, they're equal, but it's that you shouldn't talk
everybody
back to
equal.
a man. You should allow him to be a man as far as that, because you should understand that he's different. So I don't think it takes from you like to be like in return, if he knows after you have the baby and you're dealing with postpartum, there's stuff that he should do. There's stuff that he should be supported of, and it's not necessarily to say that he's less than you and that's why he should be supportive, but he should be supported because he understands the woman's anatomy is different, her mind is different as far as that, and he understands to get the value that he needs to be a wife and mother, that he has to cater to her in that moment. And the same thing for a man, you have to cater to a man. You got to understand, never disrespecting his manhood, or you're gonna reap the consequences of that. But peace and love, everybody. Good night to you all. And yes, Sister
All
Freedom, I
right.
just wanted you to know so you can end it out tonight.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say,
Yeah, we're all getting out of here.
oh, you know what? That was a bit much. I as far as the man thing, that must went over top of me, or that thing about, I just think that we're both equal with different positions, but both of us have a role to play, but we are both equal to each other. That's how Dustin that feels about love. I guess I can agree with her to a certain extent. Um, I, I don't know if you can help falling in love or being in love or loving someone. It just, I know people that be abused and they still love the
Mm-hmm.
person. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, they just could beat them up. You know what I'm
Ain't
saying?
that the
Talk
truth?
dirty to them, all kinds of stuff, and they still love that person. So I don't know. People have their different feelings about love. But I don't know if it's a choice. I don't know if it's a choice. And then when you fall out of, see, I guess it's a difference to me with being in love, loving, and liking a person. Because you could love a person but not like them. So you know that something about them you love, but you just can't. You just don't like them. You just naturally love them, but you don't like them, or things that they're doing you don't like. I don't know if anybody understand what I'm trying to say, but I know what I'm saying. So that's really what I got to say. If anybody else want anything to say, because I'm tired and ready to shut this computer down. Mighty Hebrew. Shalom, shalom, shalom. How you
I like
doing?
that. He said, never fall in love, rise in love.
Come on. Peace, mighty
Mm,
Hebrew. Shalom.
Okay.
love
Right.
it.
He said
That's
again,
what I'm
men
saying.
and women are equal, but
Yeah, different position.
equality does not mean sameness. Our roles are different. The
Yeah,
responsibility
those
shared.
are different.
That's right, in duality. And
Mm.
that's why in duality, I still believe that we are not equal. I believe that the responsibility is shared, but that doesn't necessarily make us equal. I believe that makes us balanced.
Can I ask a question to all y'all on the
Yeah.
topic?
Yeah.
Hey, Druid.
I'd like to hear everyone's answer. Hey, Sister Freedom. Are all men equal, or are all men
No
created
way
equal?
possible.
Nope, not at
We
all.
already been
That,
complaining about some things, so men definitely are not equal.
so we can all agree all men are not equal, right?
Right.
Are
Same thing
all
with
women
women.
are all women equal?
No.
Nope.
Okay, so if all men are not equal to other men, and all women are not equal to other women, then how can men and women not be equal when they're not even equal among the same gender or sex?
Well, we talking about two separate entities. We talking about positions and balance. That's what makes them equal. They need each other for certain things. But when you talk about equal, some men, the males are not men yet. They just of age and stuff, but they are so immature. If you read some of these chats, some of the messages in the chats,
But
you
then
can see the
who
immaturity and everything.
but
All
who's
men
to
are
say
definitely
that?
That's
not on the
good.
same level. They're
Say
so
That's
who's
good,
a
immature
man?
and
man.
have, hello,
Who's to define
hello.
say man?
I don't know. I'm trying to answer. Then you can answer, Sakina, so it won't come discombobulated.
Okay.
Um, there's a lot of men that are like we were saying tonight, got feminine ways. They just silly for no reason at all. I mean, I'm saying not just in this chat, but in a lot of times I be looking at chats wherever we are when you're HOK. When we just different. I be
Right,
like, how old is these people? You
right,
know what
right.
I'm saying? Just saying silly stuff for
Woo.
no reason.
Okay,
And
so let me ask it this way because I know some of y'all position on this. Are white women equal to black women?
Oh,
oh,
heck
come on.
no.
Let's
Oh
first answer the
man,
first
come on.
question.
Come on.
No,
I
the
don't know
reason the
about
reason I'm
that.
asking
Oh,
that is
hell
because I'm
no.
sure we could say no. So
I'm
then the
sure we
question
can.
then so then
But
the
that wouldn't
answer
be right though, because a lot of white and Spanish and Chinese and Japan women, they all go through the same thing we go through with these different kids, the men.
the the
We
reason the reason the reason I'm asking is because are you going to say that black men and white women are equal or white men and black women are equal? Like I don't see
oh
equality amongst humanity at all. Like we all have our strengths and weaknesses and differences amongst
okay.
the races. You see what I'm saying? That's why I started off asking. I don't even think there's equality amongst men. I don't even think there's equality amongst women. So then if you're
But the
comparing
question is equal, is a man and a woman equal?
right, and I think it's
Right.
no because all men are not even equal. I don't think all men are equal.
No, I think it was already established. The sister said that men and women aren't equal. Everybody has a role to play.
Right, but some of them think men and women are equal. Our time.
Everybody has a role. I'm not trying to grow titties, man. I'm not trying to grow titties. I mean, you gotta deal with some foundational type of things. You know, you stepped out there and you going into a scientific thing, into a race thing. It's
No,
not about
me and
that.
you and Truist
No,
are on
not you,
the same.
not you, not you, the
No,
brother, the
Truist
truest.
is on the same thing as me and you, but we have other
You
people
know
on
what?
Oh, he just
So
bringing a
listen,
different
he
angle.
say he
He
not
bring.
Yeah,
trying to
Okay, my
grow
bad, my
titties.
bad, my
yeah,
bad,
yeah.
my
I
bad.
was
That
I
is
was just bringing
that
a
is
Yeah, my
so
weird.
I,
bad.
You're not supposed
Yeah,
to
I know.
want to grow
I
titties.
my bad, truest. I got you. I
yeah,
got you.
no,
I
it's
got
cool.
you.
I was going
You're not
into
supposed to want to grow titties. Like that's not your position. That's not your
No,
position. Why would you want titties? Is you not even supposed to have none?
Well, there
but
are
but
men
that's
with titties. We're
that.
not gonna
Well,
sit here
no,
and
that's
but
not what.
but
See how the narrative changed. You gotta think. Oh my God, I'm very gonna be it because I can't with that one.
Nah,
okay,
nah.
so
Go
so
ahead,
so
go ahead.
wait, so wait,
Nah,
wait, wait, wait. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear
come
me
on,
out.
freedom.
I
You
don't I
gotta
don't when
have
we're
fun
even
with
when
it,
we're
freedom.
talking even when we're talking about positions, right? I don't even think all men have the same position. For example, right? A man who's
Naturally, we
six
talking about
foot.
natural positions, not no
Yeah,
weird,
that's what
not no
I'm
weird
speaking
stuff.
to. That's what I'm speaking to. I don't think a man, right, who's born 4'11" and is blind, right? I don't think it's his position to be going to war like a man who may be 6'5" and 200 pounds.
Why not?
So
He can fight too. Some
a
little
blind,
people.
a blind man who's
Oh no, I
4'11".
didn't hear the blind part. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we're born with certain things that could
But
create
I
your
thought was
position.
equal to a man, like a woman, like a man that is short and blind can still make babies. We talking about position. Like I thought we talking about women and men, like for each other. Not like what you just said about just it, I mean it just gets I don't know, it's just like taken out.
This is a better question.
But once the babies are made, we got to protect the babies.
Okay.
Hey, that's Tupac.
Do you treat a 4'5" man the same as a man that's 5 foot? A man
I
that's
only know what one look
5.
like if I see the midget.
Exactly, because you wouldn't date, so you don't treat them equal. That's the whole point. You wouldn't date a man.
Now, see, that's how the narrative keep changing. Oh
It's
my
not a
God, it
narrative
keep
that
changing.
don't change. You don't treat them equally because you
I
would
ain't
not
gonna even
date
talk to them, let alone to you them equal. Unless
exactly.
they
So that's
style or
not
something.
being. You don't treat them the same. That's the same point. It's just a
Freedom, you
different
know what they
narrative.
trying to say, right? It
Yeah,
goes
but
back to
it's
when you
off the
said you think that
topic.
men or
It's
women
off
are
the
equal.
topic.
Are you? No, that's the same topic. Are you
It's
treating them
not. I don't know
equal?
how people hear stuff. It's
No,
not.
because you're not
Do you
hearing
think that men and women are equal? That's the
exact.
question.
So
Do you think men
exactly.
and women are equal?
Right.
Not if somebody's 4 foot. Are you going to treat them in the same way
Still
you treat
two
a six
men.
foot
Are you
man?
treating them
It's
equal?
crazy.
Equal means do you treat them the same?
No, it doesn't. That's
Yes,
not
they
what the
do mean
topic
equal.
is. The topic is: do you think men and women are equal?
Okay,
Not do I
all
think
right.
um,
Listen here. This is
my
how
dad
no,
and my
matter of
brother
fact,
are equal. No, my dad would be not on the same level as my brother. I mean, come on now. We're not even talking about that. The narrative change. People hear things all weird out and crazy because they keep
okay.
changing
Let
narrative.
me go here right quick. Mighty Hebrew, you can look this up. There are men, fat men that have breasts. And these men can get breast cancer, unfortunately.
There's skinny
So
men that got
Oh
breast too,
you
Shakina.
may
shit.
not call them titties, but
They
we
got it's called gynecomastia.
you
But
might
skinny
not
men, there's
call
skinny men that got that too.
right, and so you might not call them titties, but we call them B cups. So you
See, that's what I'm talking about. See,
so you
you
know
gotta be.
it is
But
what
that's
it
because
is.
a lot of women have estrogen and some men got too much estrogen in their body. They got everything they eat got estrogen in it. All the meat products got estrogen. Then women got estrogen. It's just, you know.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to be
I
real.
mean, you stuck on them just like you. Let me
I
shut up.
don't
Too.
know.
See, Anton told me may have fun with it. Now I was great, go there, but I'm not going to do that.
Listen,
Come on now.
Anton then came up on this panel and then got put in time out. Anton don't need to have no fun because Anton don't need another baby mama or another wife. He don't
Oh,
need no more
oh
kids.
yeah.
Nah.
Anton
See,
look
but
is
you see, but
crazy.
You
here's
might
the
want one
difference. You know
though.
what I'm saying? Look,
Anton, you might want one, baby.
Anton,
here's the
your cover is
here's
blown, man. We
here's the
gonna get
difference.
you on that
Nah,
every time.
how'd I blow my cover when I'm the one that said it?
Oh,
You
You
know what I'm
should have
God.
saying?
said
Look,
that. You should have said something
I'm in my
different.
I'm in my 50s. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind. I'm talking to grown women, man. You know what
What's
I'm
your
saying?
sign,
I ain't that tripping.
Anton? I want to see if I can guess. What's your
Huh?
sign? What's
He a
your
I'm
sign?
Aries.
Leo.
I'm Aries.
Huh?
Oh shucks,
I'm
Aries.
a I'm a Aries.
Are you? Ooh, y'all something.
Mm-hmm. Anton used to be a cutie
They
pie
are
back in the
so
day.
funny. Oh my God, they so funny.
Right. Look, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing it. I wasn't tripping. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
just did what I did. But I had a good, I had a good pops, good mom. It kept me in check, and I had to handle my business. So that's what I had to do. I mean, if I had to do it all over again, I probably do it all over again. I don't know. But I got beautiful babies, grandbabies. It's all good.
Me too.
That's
I'm
all
with you on
good.
that answer.
That's
I
all
got
good.
6 grand.
But the thing is, I mean, okay, let's say this, sisters. Do I sound like I'm bitter?
No,
Not
of
at
course
all.
not.
Not
Do
the
I
least
sound like
bit.
I ain't got no love for my sisters?
No, you
No.
Absolutely
don't.
not. I
You
think
still
that's
on
it. You know
timeout.
what I mean? Oh yeah, well, you know what I'm saying?
Don't do that
After
to
you take the
y'all.
dust cap, after you take the dust cap off of me, you know what I'm saying? You know what? Maybe we can have a different conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
That's
man.
all I'm saying.
Oh man. What time is it? 3 hours and 34 minutes, 26,
Mm.
27, 28 seconds. With that, I'm going to say good night, everybody, because I have to get up and go to work too. Got to make that money. Don't let that money make you.
Okay.
And
Because if you do,
Trillis,
you might do strange things for a little change.
okay.
Hey, and what I tell y'all, don't be telling nobody else now. I know there's about
Okay.
200 people in the chat, but don't tell nobody else.
In the words
Okay.
of Michael Jackson,
I love it.
All
I
right,
love
y'all
it.
ladies. All right, y'all
Good
ladies.
night.
Take care.
Good
Good
night.
night,
Good
All
y'all.
right.
night.
Close the
Good
show
night.
down, y'all. Because we got a
Ay,
whole
ay, ay.
program the next day.
she was dying to dash. She hit it
Yep,
real
true. It's
quick.
done. Mm-hmm.
I didn't
All
even
right.
get to hear the question one more again.
Girl, they are done.
Y'all
Stick
get
a
ready to go
fork
to
in
bed
them.
anyway.
Stick a fork in them. They're done. They are done. Done.
Mm.
Yes. Well, it was a good conversation tonight, y'all. Honestly.
Y'all find a way
Gang,
to do
gang.
something to me every night. Every night y'all do something terrible to me, bad to me.
Yes.
Y'all better
I love
stop
it.
it.
Love it.
Listen, the chat had good questions too. So peace to the chat. Y'all have
Not some of them. Some of them I had to say, are you serious?
listen, my nephew was killing them in the chat. Thank you, nephew. You should have came up, Marcus.
I know. I don't know why
Killing them.
Marcus don't ever hit the link.
Marcus was talking crazy tonight. I don't know what was on my Marcus. My
Right.
Marcus
That's
was
why he
not
should have
going
really
right.
hit the link.
Billy, you was cooking too. Cooking with Billy.
Cooking
Yay.
what Billy was cooking.
Cooking with
But
Billy was
listen,
cooking. You
Marcus,
was cooking too.
wait a minute. Let me tell Marcus this though. Marcus, you know that you family right before anybody did anything. We had you. You was up here bothering Dulcinea. Remember that when we first met you? Like you are totally family, so you can hit the link anytime. Is being a pseudo killer or whoever you hang with don't have nothing to do with us over here.
Yes,
So
that's
that's
my
just
nephew.
FYI.
Yay. Yes. Yes, this was a hot topic. Great conversation. Freedom, you was really getting it too.
I always get it,
Yeah.
get it. I
Oh,
was getting
hey.
it.
Getting it too.
I was trying not to get smart.
Well, you did your
You did
Not
a
best.
not with
halfway
tone
good
of voice.
job
I'm just
tonight.
saying some
You did a
things were said in the
halfway.
chat I didn't appreciate.
Well, you
I'm gonna
know
give you
what?
50% tonight.
I ain't talking about Marcus either. I'm talking about
Renegade was
somebody else.
hyping you up too, and you was
I wanted to say, did
Free.
that person got a little dress on or something, a little panties or something
yes,
on?
You.
that was so funny.
Underneath his pants? God, lead. I picked the
Uh-uh.
Listen, Freedom Bay. You did good tonight. You did good.
I
Yeah.
I'm
am
going.
so
I'm going to
good,
give
honey.
you your props. I didn't say you were so good. I said you did good tonight.
Well, a lot of times you know, well, I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna say this about me. Like I said, I admit all day long, I'm a tough cookie to chew down on. You know what I'm saying? But if you start
Oatmeal,
acting girly or little
raisins.
young and all that immature, laughing and giggling, everything funny and making crack jokes, I just ain't the one for it. I just got to go in the other room. We gonna break up.
Oh my goodness.
I
Well, you know
can't
you
because
got
I
the
ain't no
wrong
silly.
one. With me and Sakina silly all the time. But
No, I'm
listen,
talking about
crack
in a
it.
relationship with a man. You just got to calm down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
I was
mean, you
See
just
with
trying to
just
up,
coming
wasn't
off mature and all that. Just shut up.
with nuts in it. See oatmeal, raisins, nuts, all up in that nasty cookie. Just all kind of stuff. Sesame
Girl.
seeds.
Mm.
and then y'all had to bust me out with my gum. That didn't make no sense. I did not know the speaker was. I thought I
Yeah, the sleeper was awakened.
Listen, I thought I was on mute. Y'all like, who chewing gum? I was like, oh my goodness.
No, that was you and her because she had a whole salad she was eating. Talking about,
I did have a
I eat
salad, but I
salads
did.
anytime I want to, or
Right.
something like
I
that. She
did.
said,
Like, brother lie. And then she was like, who chewing gum? I'm like, girl, that's your
That
salad.
wasn't me. That was Dots.
I was like,
"Yeah,
Brother
that was
Lobby coming
Dots."
with some good points too, though. Y'all gotta give it to him.
he do eat like
Yeah,
pizza,
when we
right?
can get him to talk,
Assalamu alaikum salam.
I
That's
know,
why
because
y'all
Brother
gotta
Lon coming
say
in with
that
those
about
one
Brother
hitter
Lobby. No,
quitters.
you didn't do Brother Lobby's voice.
He like peace, sister freedom. I can't believe you was
I
on here
know,
talking about
right?
peace.
Yeah. Well, they can fill out off until I because nah, no, man. Because I'm just saying, don't wear a dress and panties and heels and think I'm gonna call you a man.
Oh,
I can't believe you was on here talking about the
Nah,
dunya. No, I can't believe you was talking about the dunya like that. The dunya is so real. I can't believe you was on here talking about it.
oh dear. I know that's what Nisha in the chat saying. The
it's
doing is so
true, brother.
real.
I'll be like straight to the point. Straight to the point. If you got a dress on, that's improper. Like, if you got if you're doing if you singing la 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 la
Right.
and you got a little two pantyhose on, it ain't right. It just ain't right.
Oh,
All right, like he said, I told y'all, women and men and women is equal. See, at 4,700,000 BCE, the world came about
When
on.
they were aliens and little drip drops from off your
Right.
toes,
It was
your
at
feet was no bigger than a toe.
4,400,
4,005,811 years
oh,
ago.
y'all is so silly. Not when they was drip
3.4
drops though.
BCE.
Oh man, Brother, like you gonna have to come back and get them. How y'all gonna talk
Brother
about
Lot
him
is
like that?
going and sleep,
You know what I
girl.
mean? I
See,
look. I
you
know
don't
he ain't
know.
even seeing none of this. I know.
Niambi is our sister. She will hang in there with us till the bitter end. She do
Yeah.
not play her,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Cole, and all. But they don't
Mm-hmm.
play. They
Yeah.
in there with they in there with their
Her.
sisters, honey.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Her and that
They
Mr.
Niambi.
don't
Cole.
play.
Yes. Some
Yes.
diehards.
Sisters wasn't in there tonight. Lolita, I didn't see my girl.
I
Lolita, where
know. And
was
Sakina didn't stay
Lolita?
long either. The other Sakina, she didn't stay long.
Mm-mm.
She probably was tired. They gotta get them
But
kids
it
up to
was another
school.
girl in the chat too. Somebody named Anna. Somebody.
Yeah, Anna Weber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had a couple of
Yep.
good questions too. Yay.
When the
I
men
know.
start
We like
acting
it.
beyond underneath themselves, oh girl, I can't.
Yes.
I remember I was
Mm.
talking to this guy and he was in the mirror more than me. But he said to me, I said, girl, I don't know what you talking about. He said, what you say? I said, girl, what is you talking about? I mean, you just like one of my sisters or my girlfriends or something. But
But say it again, Freedom. Say it
I don't
again,
like
Freedom.
you no more. I said, I don't like him. Either. Girl,
What you
going to
call him?
sleep.
Girl, bye.
That's exactly what I said. I told my girlfriend, would you come get us so I can drop this girl off? She had my car. I said, come get us so I can drop this girl off, please.
Oh, that is so funny.
I can't
Oh
stand a
man.
man acting a girl. I can't.
Oh my
I
goodness.
know.
I
Just
argue back
primping.
and all that kind of stuff. I argue toe to toe. What is wrong with her?
And all that
And that's
primping.
good, and they get mad. I'll say, I feel like I'm arguing with one of my sisters or my girlfriend or something. It's what you mean by that? I say, girl, go ahead.
What you say? What's wrong with her?
Girl, go ahead.
Good.
He like, I'm like, you the one all acting, and you got masculine ways too. I said, see right
Oh
there, just
damn.
because you said that is so, girl, shut up.
That
Up.
right there.
Oh damn.
Welcome, nephew.
Go with me to get your nails done with me too. He'd be
Oh,
like, you
that's
so
so
damn
funny.
big. No, I'm just serious. You need to go with me to get your nails done. Shoot.
Oh, that's a shame. All right,
I
ladies. Well, that was
can.
a great conversation. I'm out.
It was. It was. All right. Uncle Mayad, everybody. Y'all have a good one. Love y'all
You
much.
too. Blessings
Oh,
and good
that's so
night.
cute. I like it when you say Uncle Maya. No, you said Unc and my aunt, but
Yeah.
it sound like
Yeah.
you saying Uncle my aunt.
No, that
Uncle my
Unc and
aunt.
I my eye.
Yeah.
All right, good night, y'all. We just gonna go ahead.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
I'm gonna play on your phone. If you do anything else, Marcus, you shouldn't have never gave. You do one more thing, and
Don't play on my
I'm
nephew.
gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Good night, Annie Weber. Thank you so much for joining. And please come back. You do
Yes.
so
And
well.
how he came in all late and wrong. What's wrong with him?
Oh damn. Oh damn.
That's my boy.
Y'all, they ain't gonna be able to win for lose tonight, honey.
Don't play on my nephew
Um.
phone.
Don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't play on my nephew phone.
Mm.
Marcus' phone is good as God.
Yeah, don't play on my nephew phone.
If he in a relationship, it's
Mm.
over. It is over.
It's
I don't know why he
over.
can't come. I'm gonna call his house and say, Marcus, I'm pregnant.
Oh.
Marcus, please don't do this to
Oh.
me. I can see his girlfriend now. What did she say? Marcus, please don't do this to me. Just call somebody. Just call somebody else and go, please don't do this.
Tell him, let me out the basement, please.
Please don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me.
Let me out the basement, please.
What is she talking about?
Can
Why
I
does
just
she
get
keep
some
saying
water?
that?
Can I just get some
Wait a
water?
minute, have y'all, either one of y'all, ever had a girl call y'all say, I know you've been talking to my boyfriend, your boyfriend, or don't call my man house no more. Try to argue with you about that boyfriend. Some girl try to argue with
Girl.
with me about her boyfriend. I said, girl, I said, you know what? I don't know what time it is you gotta get up and go to work tomorrow. Call me tomorrow around 12 o'clock. I'll argue with you.
Exact that part.
I can't. This tomorrow. Tomorrow about 12, we'll argue about him. But by tonight, I'm just too tired to do it. I can't.
That part.
What?
Oh my
The girl,
gosh.
the girl be like, what? Yeah, tomorrow. Because right now, because I'll argue with him tomorrow. I heard the guy in the background saying, I don't know why you called her phone. He started laughing too when I called me tomorrow. He
Mm-mm.
started laughing too. He said she's crazy. I said, can you
Hey,
call me
but
tomorrow?
what you said was legit. That's legit.
Can you call me
Like, girl,
tomorrow?
bye. Hang up this damn phone. Right. It's late as hell. Somebody finna be arguing with you late at night about no man. Girl, oh my
And then a
God.
call with his name, his real name. You call him all these nicknames and stuff. She called with his real name. Do you know William?
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
I'm calling by his Islamic name. Girl, call me tomorrow.
Mm-mm.
Uh-uh. You can call me Will, or you can call me Bill. You can call me Ray.
You can call me
Y'all don't let
tomorrow.
my sister get her. My sister
Get
will
the
get a person good.
get the hell off my phone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You
Girl, I
got
told that girl I said I will please around 12 o'clock because right now I'm so sleepy. But do you know him?
Okay.
Tomorrow, honey.
Will,
At
Will with the one eye.
Mm.
You talking about
I love
cockeyed
when
Will
girl,
with
some
the
lady accidentally called my house one day. She was snapping about her boyfriend. I said, well, he ain't coming. He ain't, girl. I done did this with him. After she got finished cussing us, I said, see, now how you feel? I don't even know your boyfriend. You accidentally called my house.
Oh, that is so funny.
I don't even know him, but for a while, girl, I was telling her, girl, y'all, girl, and I did this to him, and that's why he won't leave me alone, and I'm going to do this to him. That's why he won't leave me alone. She was snapping. She said, "Bitch, this is my man." This, that." And girl, honey, after she got finished cussing, I said, "You should feel real stupid. I don't even know your boyfriend. You accidentally dialed the wrong number. I have no idea who your boyfriend is. I just was saying all kinds of things." She said, I said, I'm dead serious. I don't know who your boyfriend is. You dialed the wrong number, but I wanted you to teach you a lesson for calling people's house. And you don't know who
Yeah,
it
that
is.
part. And you don't even ask.
You don't
Lord
know
have
who it is.
mercy.
You just dial and just start snapping. She said, well, I'm pregnant. I said, I am too.
Wow.
See, them one of them
Wow.
problems.
All
Ain't
right,
I
y'all.
mean?
I mean, at
Oh,
this
I'm
time,
just so
12,
mean.
12:30.
Okay, we
I'm
go to bed
about to
now.
be like
I
be
thought I
like
closed it
Prince.
out. I just wanted to have the last word. That's
Yes.
saying stuff.
Well, it was funny. Your last word was very funny, but
Girl,
party over
call me
with, out
tomorrow
of
around
time.
12 o'clock. Gemini, call me tomorrow around 12 o'clock.
All
My
right.
sister said, you're so ignorant. I said, you her for, and I know he
No,
gonna
it
call me at
was
11.
good. No, it was good. Girl, that's
He gonna
hilarious.
call me at
That's
11. I done told her to call me. That's my secret way of telling him to call me at 11. Girl, call me at 12 tomorrow. Here's
that's
he called me at
crazy.
11.
I'm out
He
for
gonna call me at 11. That Taurus ain't nothing nice, is Zakina.
No, you're not.
That part. That part. Isolated. Isolated. Get her.
All
Oh
right.
Get
my
her.
God.
All right. I love y'all much. I'm in the hotel. I'm out.
Yes. Good night.
Well, good night, Chad. Chatterwack. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I'm gonna leave y'all with a little bit of something, something. Think before you say stuff because we're judging you. Toodaloo, good night.